Boom. We are live, folks. Yes, that's right. We are live and back at it again. Here we are, the Wrasslin for Life Network, kicking off Wednesday night. Mox, Hangman, kicking it off already. We got 2+ hours to get you through. Me and that pretty face are going to run you through it all. The live chat, your alternative commentary to all the wrestling is back at it again. Folks, you're not going to want to miss this one. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And it's only the beginning. We got more days to go in this week, more things to get through. And as soon as I find what I'm looking for, folks, it's going to be a good one. Tune in, strap in, strap on, strap on, strap in, whatever feels good.
And I still haven't found.
Ding, ding, ding. We are live. We are live, folks. We are absolutely live and rolling. Yeah, Wednesday night's kicking off already. Like I said, it's AEW Dynamite. It's the Wrasslin for Life Network. And of course, as always, your alternative commentary is going to be me, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, Mr. Every Night, if you will. And I am joined by that pretty face.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrasslin for Life proudly brings to you its YouTube Tag Team Champions of the World, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick. How y'all doing? And we're kicking off already in Ohio, OHIO, with Moxley and Hangman, and even Moxley's dad came out. I saw somebody. What was it? Oh, where's the comment? I think Simone sent it. Oh, well, first off, yes, it's a Wednesday night, and you know what that means, wrestling for life. But Moxley's dad is like, oh, this is what you do for a job, son.
You mean you're not a plumber?
You look like one. I'm sure you're not one. You just kind of wear taped wrists and cut off jeans and everything all the time. So,
right now, that being said, I mean, I'm looking forward to this match. I'm looking forward. I mean, they built it up pretty well. So this is the third meeting. Of course, we've had head injuries involved in the first two, and right now I got Moxley all over Page.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Even before the bell rung. I don't know if the bell's rung, but we've got, look at Moxley's, all the cuts and everything still on this man's back. But we're fighting through the crowd now, folks. We've had a t-shirt used as a weapon. This is something that I would feel you would almost want to save for Revolution. But I mean, fuck, I'll take it on a fucking Wednesday.
Random Wednesday?
Looking off the show. Absolutely. This is a hell of a match.
It's starting off not wasting any time, folks. And if you're new here, if you're just tuning in, make sure you get your predictions in the chat. Let us know who you think is going to win this one. Who are you taking between Moxley and Page? Do not miss your chance to let us know how you feel.
Fair enough, fair enough. But I will say, shout out Juice, Bobby, Kayla, Video, Damian, Dale, C-Money, everybody. Chris. I feel like you keep saying that. I feel like I'm taking roll call.
Roll call.
We've got a figure four right now in amongst the people as Mox just still flips the double bird and everything.
Double bird. I mean, Moxley's infamous at this point now. Some people say too much so, Nick, but yeah. They roll around the stands.
But that's what people are like, how even Simone's saying here, if this is a pay-per-view quality match, and on one hand, we've noticed that Vince coming back in WWE has kind of helped AEW elevate a bit and everything.
A little bit.
Of now we're actually back to this kind of war I feel going on versus just, and I know we all just like wrestling. I get it, but you got to be competitive sometimes.
That's it. I mean. No, that's it. I mean, the competitive side of things, Nick, I agree with you. But you were saying?
No, I was just saying, we got Moxley's about to Pillmanize Hangman's leg, and the bell hasn't even rung yet, folks. Yeah, it feels like Tony's now actually pulling his shit together, like the card tonight is stacked.
I mean, that's one way to combat the booking, right? I mean, we will look past kind of the funny booking or some of the weird decisions when you continually load us up with solid cards from start to finish.
Right. Well, he's saying WWE is hot right now. Great ratings. Maybe TK is feeling the heat. Well, they did have great ratings on Monday Night Raw because of adrenaline
It's
in my
crazy.
soul. Yeah, well, they did a 2.1, I think Dale even said.
Yeah, and I mean, for people who said, "Oh, well, Cody's not going to get over. Cody's going to get booed if he wins the Rumble. Nobody really cares that much about Cody." Whew, I think the proof's in the pudding on this one.
Right.
I feel like that might not be the case anymore.
Absolutely. And boom, now we've got both men in the ring, and we've got the bell finally officially rung. After we brawled through the crowd, we used a shirt and a steel chair and everything else. Now we've got the bell rung. So who are you taking for this, sir?
Paige.
Okay,
Page.
I'll take Moxley, even though Mox is already busted open and everything.
Yeah, Mr. Mache.
Yeah, paper mache forehead. It's been what? We've been going for 8 minutes now, not including the intros and everything. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and he's already got color in the match. We've already got juice on AEW and not you in the chat.
And to me, it's just an unnecessary step, right? I really feel like they could just get in the ring and go and start the match off, go. I mean, make it make sense. If you guys want to roll out and some stuff happens, fine. But to me, I don't need that up in the crowd melee.
Now, this might be, I do agree with what you're saying of, I almost want to take that and use it of, if you could have done it to where you build, like we said, this is a pay-per-view quality match. You build this to a last man, big German suplex from Hangman, but you build this to a last man standing match. How we've had, concussions and being knocked out and everything like that as part of this. And I know that's very attitude era booking, not exactly 22 booking, but if you build this to a pay-per-view match at Revolution and it's a last man standing match, I think that sells more than this does, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you build it right and you sell it off there. I mean, there's
if they're going to do color and everything too, especially.
Yeah, and I mean, you know what? The tricky part is when you have your pay-per-views, 4 times a year, which I like. I'm not disparaging that choice. You do have to give away some matches on TV. So that's just the way it is. And I mean, they've built this up and they've had it back and forth. But again, when this whole kind of rivalry was built around head injuries and I knocked you out, now you knocked me out, to be in the crowd and get blood, to get juice right away is almost counterintuitive to the story, right? You kind of got to build to some type of potential head injury.
Well, but that's the thing is, to me, building with a whole angle around head injuries and everything is a bit much for me, especially now. But like C Money said, it might have been hard way, but like that goes back to Mox gets cut up every week. Fall away slam from Hangman as he sat there and he's even rubbed the blood on his chest. I'll give him credit. Like, this is a great match. I feel like it would have been better on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, again, but the problem is the way it was going. I mean, I don't know if you can stretch it out to March, right?
That is fair. But right now we've got both men on the ring apron. So, folks, if you haven't done so already, give us your predictions in the chat. KJ is taking Hangman. I'm taking Moxley. Does the fact that it's in Ohio plays a bit of a part of the reverse of WWE? If it's near his hometown, so you have to win, versus it's in your hometown, so you have to lose?
Yeah, I don't think it goes either way. I mean, I hate any kind of absolute is bad for business, in my humble opinion. I just think Paige needs this more than Mox. Mox will get over a loss. Mox, we've seen win again and again, and he's, if he loses, he'll come back as the angry shit stomper that he is. But Paige getting defeated in any type of rivalry it'll just knock him back down. Like, we haven't seen Paige really. He had that lackluster title run, and we haven't seen much from him since. I think.
You've seen just stuff from him, just better by Logan Paul and everything, which is a little awkward to say.
I love it.
Yes, as we're in picture right now, as we had both men going back and forth of either pile driver or dude buster on the apron, and Mox is on the outside of the ring. But yeah, Logan Paul now is two times hit the buckshot lariat better than Hangman.
Yeah, you think it's better? There's been some
Oh,
debate.
I don't think it's debatable.
You know what? Because he's so long and lanky, he lands like in the middle of the ring, but it looks like a slingshot. Like it's just like
it's such a smooth transition. He's as soon as he lands, he snaps right around and he's instantly running. Of Hangman always kind of stops for a half second.
Well, and like yeah, to me, Hangman's got to make more of a bit of a sprint after he lands. Where Logan Paul takes one big step, he's already connected. Like he lands, and mid first step into the second step, he's drilling him.
Well, and it's also a bit like, and not to get super critiquey about this, but it's the fact too that he's so, like you said, long and lanky and everything. It's a little bit like when JBL would hit the clothesline from hell because he's so big and so tall and everything that it just looks way more impactful than Hangman, who I'm sure he's probably even close to my height and everything, but he's probably he just comes off a bit more compact, so it doesn't look as like impactful, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely. I see what you're saying with that for sure. So, but folks, if you haven't made a prediction yet, get it in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know how you're feeling about this match as it continues. And of course, Mox and Paige are going toe to toe. I have a feeling we're going to get this for quite a while.
And I don't blame them because, like we keep saying, this is a hell of a match. If we're literally more critiquing it of like, well, you could have built to it more. It's not even like, why are you giving us this? It's just, no, we want more. And that's goes back to Tony's finally managing to, I feel, figure out that booking issue that he's had since All Out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, we've seen it kind of putter and bounce, and we're not really quite sure where it's going, but I don't know where they go from here either, though.
Well, even then, though, still, on tonight's card, you've got Bryan Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher, as we've both got there on the screen and everything. You've got Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin for the TNT title in a no-holds-barred match, I believe. And there's even talks about, this is where we get Wardlow to come back. And they had built up Wardlow to be the next star and then just instantly cooled him right off. And I feel like if he does come back tonight, it works perfectly because how can I miss you if you never go away?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to have some type of. We thought he was going on vacation. He didn't go. Why are you still here?
You got a haircut. You had to fix everything after Joe's haircut.
Right.
Back from picture in picture, I've got Hangman with Moxley on his shoulders off the top rope. Avalanche Death Valley Driver. Two count.
Two count.
So what do you think about this? Because I honestly have thought that Damon brings up this whole point of, I think Eddie Kingston is joining the House of Black very, very soon.
I thought it was Ortiz initially, but now it feels like it's going to be Kingston. I don't like it. I don't think it fits. I don't think it's good. I don't think the last person you should put a gimmick on is Eddie Kingston. We loved him because he's real. What the fuck are we doing?
It would remind me of, for those South Park fans out there and everything, of when Stan tries to hang out with the goth kids and everything. It's just like, no, it doesn't work. Eddie's just good as Eddie. He doesn't need to be the spooky goth kid. Yeah, it's from Brett's rope. No, it was from the top rope. But do you think, Damon asked, do you think we could see Kota Ibushi's debut tonight?
Tonight? Maybe. I mean, I imagine if that's the case, I mean, they're building definitely something. Maybe it's Mox Ibushi for Revolution, or does someone like Kenny kind of jump? What are up with Kenny and the Bucks, by the way? Complete side.
Kenny had visa issues.
Why? What do you mean?
No, because he's Canadian. Our country wouldn't let him in for some reason. They were even just like, nope, you're bullshit. I'm sick of it. You go cool off for a minute, and then you can come in. Your
country's funny, man. I had a friend
in more ways than one. It's like a very dark comedy.
I had a friend get stuck at the airport. The U.S. wouldn't let him in. So, like 5 days later, he flew to Mexico for a vacation. I was like, that was probably a better choice anyway. But it was just
very easy to get in.
These weird arbitrary rules.
Yeah, like I said, it's like a dark comedy living in the U.S. But back to that.
Back to the point. No, but so is that what it is? He's hanging out in Canada?
No, he's actually now it came out, I think, a
still
day or
Japan?
so, or maybe today, that he's got cleared and everything. Like, so maybe we get Kenny tonight. I think we'd get Kenny more likely than Ibushi. But big suplex from Moxley. And this is already, we've got the crowd chanting, this is awesome. And it has been a fantastic match. I know we've been talking through it, but.
Right. Now, I mean, we haven't, correct me, right? We haven't seen the Trios champions since they've taken the belts back.
Correct.
Front chancery suplex.
Yeah, we haven't seen them. The last time we saw Kenny was at Wrestle Kingdom 17.
That's right. And then we saw the Bucks lose to
Superplex. 2 count.
There you go.
Saw the Bucks lose to, who did they face? Oh, they faced the Lucha Bros.
Didn't they lose to Dante Martin?
Oh, Top Flight. That's right. Yeah, that's when we were going on like Top Flights on every week.
Every week. Oh, I got Moxley with the stomps. They look like shit. Do-si-do. Swing your partner round and round.
If he's concussed, let him go. It's so funny because I felt like I was ahead of you and you just like, all right, hair ahead of me. So it's like perfect.
That's so weird.
I dig it. From
couldn't you see? Yeah.
I want to touch on Ibushi more the next time.
Go.
No, when we get to a commercial, because I feel like that's going to take a bit.
Page gets his foot on the rope
after an arm bar from Moxley.
You know, I do find it funny, like when you catch, you start leaking like early in a match. I mean, it's almost more effectful to if you're going to gig yourself, do it near the middle to the end of the match, so it kind of carries to the end a little better.
Fair enough. Well,
oh,
Heyman or Moxley going over the top rope onto the outside.
Yeah, this match just slowed down a little.
Well,
Moxley moves out of the way of the moonsault and drills him. What?
I just got there. Oh, clothesline. Yeah, I just got there. But yeah, well, if it was to where he kind of cut himself hard way and everything like that, at the beginning of the match unintentionally, so maybe he's kind of getting gas and everything, so that's maybe why it's slowed down.
Well, and again, when you go for a set spot like that moonsault, you got to find. See, this is like the unnecessary shit where the match is really good, and now we're fighting over who's going to go through a table, and it's just not necessary.
Well, to me, this would work better. Like I said, we talked about it earlier. If this was a pay-per-view match, powerbomb through the table. But if this was a pay-per-view match and this was like I said, a last man standing match and everything like that, then all of this seems fine. You're sitting here this whole time of like, how have we not been counted out yet? How have we not had a DQ yet? This is still technically a regular wrestling match,
right?
Why are you doing so much when you could be just using this as another step?
Yeah, I mean, you really could. And I mean, some people still thought that this match was going to go into a DQ tonight, Nick.
But that's the thing. And so we've had people go through tables. We've had 8 count. So is Moxley going to get counted out? 9. Oh, no, we get the sprint.
And he gets drilled for his efforts.
But we've already had fighting through the crowd. We've already had Dude Buster. We're 2, 3, 2 count. So fucking close. But if you're going to do all of this, how has that not already been a DQ? Have we already not had somebody stop this? Have we not had somebody come out? Like, I know it's a little old man yells at cloud, but for fuck's sake.
But I think the match has been really good. I just think, the table spot was all right, but maybe you don't need the running into the audience first.
It's a bit of a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. But good. I'd hate to follow this match. Yeah, honestly.
It's a good women's match up next.
Oh.
No offense, ladies. I don't book them.
Yeah.
They do it all the time to the ladies. Oh, wait, the Buck's done? All right, send out the women. Like, what are you doing? People wonder why ladies wrestling can't get over right now.
Yeah, go follow, Moxley bleeding and your former world champs going at it, table spots and fighting in the crowd and everything. You go out, do that.
Right. Keep in mind, folks, later tonight, the Daniel Bryan tour still continues. He's going to take on Timothy Thatcher. That's right. Timothy Thatcher. Stretch him. I just want Ciampa to come out and sit on a chair and watch the match.
Could you fucking imagine? These guys are fucking laying it in, though. Of just elbow shots back and forth. We've got. Oh, that was a terrible fisherman suplex. That man
that didn't go well at all.
Fucking head.
Right on the fucking head. Bro, where'd you land? My neck?
Right? Yeah. This the stomp close on my mind. Trust me, Bobby, we're still trying to keep up with everything with this while still talking and all that. It's just this is a buckshot into the now. Does he do the suplex or the actual DDT? Oh,
tombstone.
Man about to hit a tombstone.
That's illegal. That's illegal. That's a party foul. Why did he roll out? Oh, for the dumbass.
That's unnecessary. If you're gonna, I hate the Cornetti of you've got to keep the tombstone as a protected move. Buckshot lariat. 1, 2.
Get the fuck out of here.
2 count. Man takes a tombstone and a buckshot lariat and kicks out at 2. And again, Rhea Ripley pin.
Nobody should use that tombstone unless you're ending a match. I don't like anyone using it. That's just me being picky. But if you steal the Taker move, you fucking end a match with it. Moxley kicks out of fucking everything.
That should have ended that match.
Oh,
honestly. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That's the way we end that. So we end that with, that's a creative way to do a roll-up of Moxley hooks Hangman's leg over him as he's got him in a chokehold. But so Moxley sneakily with the roll-up for a 3 count. Now, who's the heel here? Hangman or Moxley?
Your guess is as good fucking mine on this one.
Flip a coin.
All right, now Paige is standing. Wait, we got company.
Well, we already had Moxley coming out there with Yuta and Cesaro. So, to me, BCC has very much become the heel faction here. You had Moxley win with it in a cheating way with the roll-up, and now he's out having to Claudio and Yuta are having to hold back Moxley from Hangman.
What is man, they kicked out of everything except that dangerous roll-up, man.
Most devastating move in professional wrestling.
It's crazy.
Where's Sammy with the chair shot here? Because we've got Moxley pie face and Hangman. And he's sitting there doing snowflakes or snow angels. I got there.
Now Claudio telling Paige to get out. And Yuta. It is such a weird situation.
Unnecessary. Like that felt
real?
Shooting. Yeah, well, it felt so shooting in the wrong way. It felt like we don't know why this is happening right now. We can't hear anything they're saying. You're not, mannequing anything, that well that we can really play off of the situation outside of flipping the bird. So it's just extra on top of extra on top of extra.
And that's it. We're transitioning into Joe, folks. Let us know what you thought about that opening match. A little bit surprising for me. I didn't expect it to be so like the ending again. You just kind of took the energy out of the crowd because everybody was sitting there like, what's going on?
And fair enough. And so Moxley picks up the win, by the way, folks. But this just made me think of this. So we have a no holds barred match, I believe, later on between Samoa Joe and Darby Allin. But you're starting off the show already with fighting in the crowd and table spots and juice and color and nephews and all that. So then what is the no holds barred match going to have to do to outdo that? Like, that's shitty booking to an extent. It was a great match, don't get me wrong. It's more of just make it make sense overall. Of you have a no holds barred match, save that for that. Don't do it in your opening match.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, you can't, again, it's about, how you format everything. And we've talked about it before where Tony's put on really, really good shows, had really good matches. He's just inexperienced with booking and putting it all together. You see where he kind of went wrong at times, right? I
Well,
mean,
and I was going to say, of anyone that's critiquing us talking about how Tony books, well, Tony has as much qualifications to book a professional wrestling show as we do. So
very true. So that's my critique of that is just, and again, it's looking at your show in a big picture and how you want it to flow and how you want to make sense. And generally, you're going to build to the most exciting, most violent, most oh shit moment, right? Like that's kind of what you want to build towards.
you build to the main event. You don't start with the main event.
Right. We kind of noticed that with the trios, when they were doing like opening matches where they were just tearing the house down. And how do you get your crowd back at all? Like, what do you do? And you didn't.
Well, fair enough. But we are in commercial break right now, so I want to touch on the whole Kota Ibushi situation, everything. I saw reports today saying that he wants to open a school in Japan before he ever even considers going to AEW, which I found interesting because I thought as the second he's a free agent, granted the GCW bookings are interesting, and trust me, we will be here for that 100%.
Yeah.
But the fact that he wasn't instantly like, we didn't get the all elite graphic and everything like that was surprising to me because I felt like that would have been a open and shut case.
Right.
Yeah, you would have had the Golden Lovers. If you could give me, honestly, as a New Japan fan, and I'm sorry, I know I stopped and then took back over, but
yeah, go ahead. You can answer you.
Yeah, I'm responding to my own question. But having the Golden Lovers on AEW, to me, I thought would have been fantastic. Sorry.
No, I mean, it would be cool. I mean, it's not really, I'm not uber like, oh man, I'm not the hugest of marks that way for Kenny and Ibushi, but I mean, yeah, we could, I don't know, dude, we could definitely get him. I think Ibushi's going to take his time. I don't think anybody is going to completely jump. I don't think anyone's going to completely jump either way. Sorry, the message in the box just caught me by surprise.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, no. That's what I love right now. Like, I mean, as a sports fan, I mean, one of my favorite things in any of the sports I follow, particularly hockey, go figure, it's like the trade deadline, the free agent signings. You want to know where people are going and what they're going to do. And I think wrestling's kind of created that where there's enough of the kayfabe lifted where we're talking about Ibushi and we're talking about, what's happening with Naya's contract and who's going where. Where's Sasha Banks? And so I think it's good. Ibushi, I mean, I think either company would be happy to have him. I think he's a better fit because of being familiar with guys like Kenny with AEW, and I could really see it happening.
Oh, absolutely. It's just going to be an interesting waiting game, I feel. But we're back from commercial. We've got the Bunny, the Butcher, and the Blade, all of the Bs, 3 Bs. Shout out Lamar Ball Lamar Ball. But now we've also got them backstage with Jamie Hayter. Are we going to get Jamie Hayter versus the Bunny? Why do we keep sticking Jamie Hayter with irrelevant feuds?
This is the same thing they did to Thunder Rosa, unfortunately. And the way they've kind of wrote this, they kind of they stepped on themselves. And to me, it's very similar kind of when the Acclaimed and FTR, when you drag ass, give an FTR their due, and then another team comes in and gets hot, then you're kind of like, fuck, hands up, baby, hands up.
We have an absolute turn right now on AEW because we just cut from that to backstage footage that almost literally looked like it had been like green screened into there. It didn't look fully natural, but you had Saraya and Tony Storm taking it to Britt Baker backstage and everything.
So the weirdest thing. So yeah, that was it.
Brits of babyface Saraya and Tony Storm are very heels now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, it was simple. It was like we were talking about with LA Knight kind of getting over on Bray lately. Is the same idea was Britt had all the best lines when Saraya came back and everyone's like, oh my God, it's Paige. What are we going to do? And then Britt just lit her up. Like half the people here don't even know how to say your name. And this is your house. I've been doing this for 3 years. Like,
Right.
where have you been? Like, are you sure the doctors? And all of a sudden everyone's like, you know what? We really like what Britt has to say because yeah, fuck you. And then Soraya. Now I don't know if they were just like, all right, Soraya, you're a pro. Here's your mic. Go say what you need to say. Or if somebody worked with her on what to say. But when she came out and gave that speech to the crowd of like, this is my house and da-da-da-da, people were like, we don't like it. Who do you think you are? And then the
Acclaimed. Top of the game. We have the Acclaimed out right now with Daddy Ass. Pause. I missed Max's rap here, but so we've got them defending the titles versus what in the name of 80s, 90s listen to the fucking crowd, but this tag team looks like they're straight out of 80s WWE, like new generation era.
Right.
We've got a man with a mustache and a blonde mullet. Actually, it's more of a skullet, but even the crowd's deafening with "Oh, scissor me, daddy."
Right. Dun, dun, dun.
The Outrunners, Turbo and Magnum. Well, the one dude who kind of, if he didn't have the blonde mullet, he looked a little bit like Magnum TA. Shout out to, I guess, old school wrestling fans. So we're underway, and we've already. Why you gotta do that, Max? The man's setting up for the What's Up. Shout out Dudley Boys, but well, if I've ever seen a squash match.
Yeah, well, we usually ask for a prediction on all the matches, folks.
By the time we ask, it might be over.
If you want to put a name in the box just for shits and giggles, but
put a scissor in the chat. That's what it is. Is because at this point, it's very much the Acclaimed.
Let's see your scissor. Light it up, folks. Don't be shy. And if you're just tuning in, thank you for being here. Remember, we are the alternative commentary to all the wrestling.
Mic drop elbow. Sorry.
No, let me know what you're seeing.
3 count. And so, like I said, before KJ could even finish his promo and everything like that, the Acclaimed have already won.
There you go. But that's what I like. Give the champs a win. I mean, we're building towards the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys at Revolution.
They're the guns. I refuse to keep calling them the Ass Boys and everything like that because I feel like I have to pause. I get triggered every time I say it. But speaking of them, we've got the Gun Club, the Gun Boys coming out right now. So I think that's, like you said, that we are setting up for them at Revolution, everything, which that's the depth of AEW's tag division because we've got the Young Bucks already involved with the trios. They've already got Lucha Bros involved. We've got Brody and the House of Black and Murphy and everything. They're tied up. Like, what other tag team do they face? FTR is on a sabbatical, understandably now at this point, but where do they go?
Well, it's the thing. I mean, I think part of the problem there, Nick, is when the people kind of overseeing that division move on to another division. Maybe they don't care so much about the previous division they were in so much.
I mean, I'm not worried about getting myself over. That's now. I know we talked about this on NXT, but so who's the Shawn Michaels and who's the Marty Jannetty of Caster and Bowens?
Oh, this is a tough one, and I think it's Caster, the more flamboyant, the more obvious standout. But Bowens isn't a Marty Jannetty. If that
he's a Billy Gunn to Road Dogg.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He might be the slightly quieter one, but when he grabs the mic, he is compelling, he's convincing, he is authentic. Right now, like he's carrying the word.
Everyone loves the Acclaimed.
Right. But yeah, I think I definitely think that Caster's the Michaels, but there's no way Bowens is a Jannetty. Like I think Bowens can be perfectly fine on his own and successful.
Absolutely. Yeah,
we got the Ass Boys.
No hill teams. Rod and Todd Flanders getting a shout out. Yeah, that is what the Gun Club is.
That's amazing.
Oh, blowback.
My freaking ears.
Right. But I'm honestly, and I will publicly say this. I thank you for turning me into, I guess, an acclaimed fan of you. Kind of pause. To where I was very much like, what is this bullshit? This is just a discount. New Age Outlaws, okay, whatever. And they're the forefront of the AEW tag team division.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, they got themselves over. Oh, wait.
Billy Gunn is the one thing that's become organic. Oh, Daddy Ass is conflicted. Pause.
This is so dumb.
Do exactly what you did our entire childhood and turn your back on us.
Rude.
What's next? I don't want your life.
But you know what's going to happen? Here's my prediction on this. That some way, somehow, Billy Gunn ends up fucking the Acclaimed. And maybe they might lose. Maybe for
you
a few
think
weeks.
He heel turns?
Yeah. I think he finally all right, they're my kids. I got to side with my kids.
Well, I just missed what Austin Gunn said because Billy's now turned around.
Never mind.
Yeah, he's about to fame-master his own fucking son. Pause.
Did you see Caster? You fucked up.
Yeah. He looks fucking gigantic compared to everyone in this ring right now. Billy Gunn could still have a TNT title run, I feel, honestly, right now in AEW. At least.
Woo. The mic stopped working.
Yeah, and unlike Moxley didn't sit there for fucking 20 minutes and try and make it work. He just threw it down and grabbed a new one. We're going to get Austin Gunn versus Billy Gunn or 2-on-1 handicap. Gun Club.
I'm down. Do it. I like it.
Next week on Dynamite. Oh, next week on Dynamite, tag team title shot. So wait. It's a Revolution. We're doing it next week.
Yeah, see, there you go. So maybe it will be a case of Billy does turn, and now the Claim have to chase back to Revolution. Which, I mean, you could have had FTR with the belts, but hey, the Ass Boys, hey.
Well, first off, I got to address this. Pause this there, Cheap Pop. I got to shout out Cheap Pop and everything like that with the fantasy faction, everything. Them's the homies for real. But yeah, no.
Excluded from that particular situation.
Oh, right. I don't need scissor me. I already got enough gimmicks. We don't need to add that too.
No.
Billy can take being called a bad father, but not. Oh, that's what they said. Oh.
Yeah, that's he's like, wait a minute. I'm no longer a drug addict. No, I'm just kidding. In the context of kayfabe, he's going to face
hot take. Serving out hot takes over here.
Right. Oh, Jungle Boy's talking.
All you got to do is look for the bare necessities. That's all I can think of now with Jungle Hook and everything. Oh, yeah. Do I want to be like you?
I feel like, Jungle Hook was one of those like honor roll situations where we just had it down before anyone.
No, that's legit what they call them now.
Yeah, they're Jungle Hook on the graphic.
No, I was like, no, we didn't just make that name up. Like they legit call them that now. Like that's a thing.
Now it's weird because I don't know. Like we had that story go on forever with Christian and Luchasaurus. Hey. Takashita.
Yeah, do you want to say his name or do you want me to correct you after you say his name?
I just took a swing at Takashita.
Takeshita.
Takeshita.
Yeah, it's not as again, that's why, like I said, I was worried it was a fucking nickname that we'd given them and everything.
Right.
Because of, we've got Takeshita. And if that starts happening, where you heard that first.
Well, we always joke, like, people say, like, the Lord works in mysterious ways. And then for the guy who never says his name right, his name freezes on my screen. So that's all I got on my screen right now is Takashita. That's all I got.
Jolly Blue. Jungle Hook should have Bear Country at their side. They could get another guy to be Baloo. We need Shere Khan and all of that.
Oh my
God.
I
said, that's gonna be fucking Luchasaurus of who we do. I want to be like you. Can learn to be human too. But we've got Brian Cage coming out, so
Brian Cage getting a lot of
speaking of not human.
Yeah, not quite. He looks like something that got made out of the Ninja Turtle mutant stuff.
Yeah, oh, the ooze, the secret of the ooze. Is he Bebop or Rocksteady?
Yeah, right. He's like one of their he'd be like the third one. Like
No, 100%. He's got the mohawk and everything. And if I'm remembering it right, he's Rocksteady 100%. So that's Brian Cage's new name. You're just Rocksteady. But we've got Takeshita versus Brian Cage. So folks, give us your predictions if you haven't already. Who are you taking, sir?
I feel like Takeshita has a lot of really good matches and never wins.
You're about to say Brian Cage.
I was about to say Brian Cage, but I'll go.
Yeah, no, it's official. Locked in. I
shouldn't be allowed to pick him because I'm willing to say his name properly.
Yeah, I'll take Takeshita. Well, we've heard talks about him getting a big push. I mean, Christ, even Ibushi's commented about Takeshita being in AEW and everything. Ooh. I think they're setting up to be for Takeshita to almost what you feel like they would have done with Ibushi if they would have got him when they started AEW. Is now what they've seen with Takeshita, and he's 100%. He's a blue chip prospect. Mm-hmm. It's just, I wonder how they're going to give him good enough stories to get him over outside of just with the smart mark audience, with the guys that watch New Japan, with the guys that watch stuff like us and everything.
I would argue that they've done an okay job of that so far, and I think. It's like that old thing, and I know I'm full of fucking analogies today, but it's like that old, like where you lose a sense, so your other senses get stronger. And I think sometimes you get forced into situations that make you better. And I think in this case, because of the language barrier, Tony's booking was like, just put him in matches. And other than telling MJF to kiss his ass,
which got a pop.
It got a pop. But all we had to do as wrestling fans is watch this guy burn it down, literally get in there, and he's good. He's talented. I don't care where he came from. Some people say, oh, DDT, it's a joke. I don't care. What he's doing in front of me right now, he looks solid. And because I think if he had the ability to really convey himself to the American market, you might have fucked it up. You might have given him more to say. You might have given him an angle. No, just let him fucking wrestle. We'll cheer if he's good.
Oh, absolutely. Well, but to your point there of how you said that he always has great matches, but always takes an L.
But yes, he does have to win some of these, or at least throw him a couple softballs in there to pick up a win. Because if he loses again tonight, the next time you bill him, we're like, oh, this guy's a jobber. He's good,
Blue
but he's
bomb like a motherfucker.
If Brian Cage doesn't kill him,
and he's not. That man just spun around Brian Cage like he ain't shit. For a blue thunder bomb. But, Damien taking Takeshita, Sean taking Takeshita, Dale taking Cage like you, Run DMG taking, saying Cage does the JOB. C-Money Cage's contract is coming up, and I think the reason we are seeing him so much is TK is figuring out if he should re-sign him or not. Well, no, then just take his wife's Twitter account away and you'll be fine.
Well, listen, we haven't heard much from him. In all defense, I don't know. I haven't heard much
because he's been on TV finally.
Oh, there you go. So they pull him back.
He's got a title holder as we're in picture right now. As Cage hits a big power bomb and then poses. But now remember, he's now the 6-man Ring of Honor champions, and they're still smoking the hopium that Ring of Honor is going to somehow be a thing.
Well, they're still working on it. So I mean. The thing with Cage is, does he go back to Impact? I don't believe he's just like a shoe-in to jump to the WWE. Maybe the WWE figures out a way to use him. But then again, if he gets disgruntled about not getting used a lot in a world where there's a high amount of talent, that will be interesting. But you said he's part of the trios or the 6-man Ring of Honor champions. They were kind of building him as the head of a faction. What do you do then? If he's walking out the door, that's all gone to shit, which is what it is.
Well, if he went to WWE, please, for the sake of Vince, give me Brock versus Bobby versus Brian Cage versus Brawny the Strowman, and just reinforce the ring and just have all the big beefy boys slapping that Vince get his rocks off.
That match is in a football field, buddy. That's
anarchy in the arena type
right?
shit. Yeah, I think where does Brian Cage fit outside of AEW? And I think that they're now figuring out what to do when it comes to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's a bad show. But Scott says, in Miami now, I'm taking Cage. So the man's watching us from Miami. And let us know, I guess,
Did he say in Miami? Oh, no, Miami. Sorry, I misread that.
In Miami? He's in.
I thought it said, yeah, Miami.
Yeah, we got there. No, he's not dumb. But let us know where you're watching us from. And also, like I said, if we did miss any of your comments or anything like that, or if there's anything you want to get across to just help support the channel, there is the super sticker, the super chats, there's all the super things, all that.
Yes, and no, we greatly appreciate it. I mean, especially we just closed up January here on the channel. And well, I guess everyone closed up January, but
I was gonna say happy February 1st, by the way. January felt like a fucking 2023. So are we on to 2024 now?
Farewell January for sure. But it was a record-breaking month here on the channel, and that's always what we pride ourselves in. So we appreciate all the fans coming out. December was crazy. January was a record breaker. Monday was a record breaker. 11K tuned in to hang out with us. So keep it coming, folks. Keep it happy.
Absolutely. Like I've been saying, and y'all thought it was a prediction. No, it was just a spoiler. Big things popping, little things stopping, motherfuckers.
Oh.
Up to something season never sleeps.
Brutal German. Out of context, that sounds completely wrong.
Right. Is this a Guess Who game?
See, I like Cage when he's like this. I like Cage even in the moments like we saw it with Bryan Danielson, because you knew he wasn't going to get away with all these backflips and all that fun stuff all the time. And I think for a long time, every Brian Cage match, whether he won or lost, you saw the same succession of moves. And yes, there was a part of his career where I would argue he was needing some oil from the Tin Man to loosen up a little. But when he's just a mean heel and he's stomping guys, well, look how big and imposing he is. But, oh, Takeshita reversal into the knee. Shotgun drop kick from the Bret Hart rope. You know what? I'll answer that when we get a commercial, Keyshawn. I like that. The short answer is fuck no. Excuse my language, but no. Brian Cage versus Braun Breaker is not a bad shout. I did think about that. Would Brian Cage accept going to NXT? That's what I'm curious about. If he views NXT as like developmental and I'm a little too old for it. I'm too experienced. I know too much. I don't know. It'd be really interesting. And the good thing, son of a bitch, the good thing with Brian Cage is we do know he's athletic. We do know he has some tricks up his sleeve. So if he wrestles 80% of the time, like just a miserable bully of a heel where he just stomps and pounds guys, great. And then you get him in a pay-per-view and he can pull out a moonsault or a standing backflip or whatever. Like, he has that ability to add that to his game. I think I spoiled on him, just for a while where it was rinse and repeat, and it was a lot of, I don't know, he almost entered into Ryback territory. Reversal. Oh, sit down, powerbomb. He did the Lucha thing. He did Lucha Underground. He was really good in Lucha Underground. A lot of people still remember that. Maybe if you he might be one of those guys that when you put him in a structured system and you don't just let him go willy-nilly on whatever he thinks. If you have producers and people around you to go, no, do this, do that, say this, it might actually help a guy like Brian Cage. That's not the case for everybody. Some people need that freedom, but maybe we're seeing it with Bray Wyatt. Like, Bray maybe getting a little too much creative freedom, and we need somebody to go, let's turn this around a little and like hone it in. And that's where, could it work? Yes. It all depends on how accepting people are into listening, into understanding, into learning, and into doing it another way. Son of a bitch. Takeshita back up. That.
Boom.
What does he call that? F5 into the flatliner.
I've got both men up on the turnbuckle right now, so I don't know if I'm ahead of you or behind you.
I am. Let me try again. I've been having a little bit of. Me and AEW don't get along some weeks. I'm gonna
see, and that was me versus. I got a superplex off the top rope right now from Takeshita, but see, that was me and TK for a while there when I was getting super critical of AEW. Of just all of a sudden, all my shit just kept fucking up when it came to watching.
Didn't want to have none of your shit.
Why? Oh, V trigger. Uno, dos, tres. So Takeshita finally gets the win and wins on a V trigger as well. Like I said before, maybe this is what they would have done with Ibushi had they had him when he was available and everything like that when they were starting off the company. But to win on very clearly Kenny's move there, interesting. I agree he has to find the right gimmick. Fair enough. I'm sure we were talking about Brian Cage there. I wouldn't use the brain buster on Brian Cage. I don't think he has much to bust. Fair enough. Resident Evil, how's Stephanie McMahon doing? Okay, I think she is doing okay. She did step down and everything. I think she also had ankle surgery, I believe. But yeah, no, I think she's doing well. About Brian Cage versus Alex Hammerstone or Jacob Fatu and MLW. Well, it's funny that you say that as Takeshita is celebrating the win right now, but maybe we see Jacob Fatu in WWE because he very much put out a kind of a response to when Jey Uso was saying, I'm done. I'm out of the bloodline. I don't want to be a part of this, everything. He responded with posting what the video of Roman and saying, you know, blood in, blood out. So I think it would be very interesting and maybe potentially possible that Jacob Fatu's headed to WWE. Well, speaking of ex-WWE, I have Chris Jericho and the Jackass Appreciation Society on my screen. And if you all know the man Mumford and Sons, I feel like this is what fucking they would look like, or like some shitty fucking Poison tribute band or something like that. Because we've got 2.0, Coke and Diet Coke, Daddy Magic and them in suspenders and a gold outfit and all of that, while Jericho's still dressing like he's in the fucking 80s for an album cover. Like, just it is just why does TK just continue to allow Jericho to pretty much just do whatever he wants on his television? I feel like it's just ridiculous to me that they let Chris just control so much of the booking. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, but name me something. We even watched, speaking of later tonight, we had Danielson versus Bandito. And you compare that when Jericho faced Bandito, you can't tell me that Bandito wasn't slowing down and sandbagging and just waiting for Chris to catch up. And Chris has been someone that sat there and said, if, you know, I feel like I'm phoning it in or anything like that, I'll retire. And so I guess maybe it should be fitting the day that Tom Brady retires, Chris can go off and ride off into the sunset like that as well. That Chris Jericho just says, all right, guys, I've been phoning it in. I'm sick of this. I need to move on. But I will say real quick on that, if Tom Brady comes out to his retirement press conference wearing a pink suit, like Mark Henry did, a salmon pink suit, then we all know it's a fucking heel turn. Jordan, what up? MCW, what up? C-Money, everybody. As we are in commercial right now, and I missed who Jericho even called out in that because I didn't want to listen. But they did just end with a video hyping up, again, the main event tonight, Darby Allin versus Samoa Joe for the TNT Championship in a no-holds-barred match. Danielson versus Thatcher match next. Let's fucking go. Y2J ain't giving up his easy money. Fair enough. Oh no, I thought up next we had it advertised of Jade versus Red Velvet there. So Jade goes for the 50-0. So KJ's prediction might come true here of Jade going at least 50-0. Does she break Goldberg's streak? We'll see. Who do you think? Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. She's not losing tonight. Correct. Fair enough. So I guess Damien's already saying she's not losing tonight. And, you know, already asking us who we think is going to beat her. Honestly, if I had to guess, it would be Statlander when she comes back. I don't know about you, sir.
Statlander's a good bet. And Statlander's been out for a long time. Like, She was injured for a while, and then she came back and she was out again. And I feel bad for her because I think outside of her gimmick, she was really, really talented. I felt like
she caught the Tegan Knox of just all of her knees just said, fuck it.
Yeah. Like they were done. They tapped out. They walked away. And
right.
Unfortunately, they didn't walk very far. But unfortunately for her, I mean, it stymied her. But her coming back will be a pretty good pop. She's homegrown. And if anybody can take Jade down, I mean, at some point, Jade does have to lose. I joked that she was going to 100-0. But
well, I mean, at least you're not like this of a 180-0 there.
But who beats her? Who? And the only way I'm okay with Jade losing is one, she's going to take a sabbatical. But when she loses the TBS title, she should be 100% shoehorned into the women's championship picture. I mean, she's been dominant. What's that?
Real quick, I was going to say, but do you do though like that? If you do the Hogan Warrior, you do TBS title versus AEW Women's World title, and you make that a big match on a big show. You do the title for title, and it dissolves the TBS title because honestly, even when Jade wins it, it still feels like you at this point kind of have the Jade Cargill title. It's like it would be like somebody walking around. It's like when you saw people walking around with the spinner title. It's like no, that's
even like the 24/7 belt. What did Truth let you hold that?
Right. When did you borrow that from Truth?
I like this. No, the only way this match gets booked, and I'm okay for it, but it would be the Cargill-Berg match.
It would be like actually a match that I was there live for of Asuka versus James Ellsworth. But as far it's funny because when you said I like this is when oiled up Kenny Omega and the Bucks
and there's the invisible hand right there on his shoulder
show up, shoot some meatball outside of the school.
And a couple of guys were up to no good.
Right. What the fuck is this whole the past like however segments and everything on AEW just looks like a fucking fever dream. If you have Matt Jackson looking like he's hanging out with his guru, Nick Jackson looks like he got he walked into Jericho's closet. Kenny Omega stayed just oiled up. Right. What the fuck? But we've got
Ethan Page officiating the argument.
Half of them is. One half is, one half. Well, one half's the WWF ref, one half's the WCW ref. Right. The ECW ref. Yeah. And
they want a trios
Page, Matt Hardy, and one half of Private Party showing up to interrupt Kenny and the boys with Bivens, who is Bivens not the star of this whole thing.
I love Bivens. You raggedy bitch.
You raggedy bitch.
It's one of the best lines. And I mean, it's an example of less is more. Simplicity can get over. And that was bang on with 2 words. It's delivery.
What?
Amen.
But how with Kenny looking like he skinned a fucking poodle from Cruella de Vil on his fucking head, oiled up in just sweatpants, does Bivens not walk up and just go, you raggedy bitch?
Right? You oily bitch.
Oh, well, speaking of raggedy bitches, we've got Brian Danielson coming out right now.
We wonder why
we never thought you'd hear that segue, folks.
Right? That was quite the segue. And we wonder why the advertisers have issues with this at times.
Well, that's why we have certain ones and we don't have certain ones.
We're 18 plus, folks. But yeah, Jade 2 belts. Yeah, I'm down. I mean, Jade looks like a star. She stands out. Yes, she was green as all hell when she started, but she's come a long way. And I think if you continue to challenge her and she continues to work, she seems very passionate about her craft. So I'm okay to give her time. And as far as the TBS title goes, like you said, she's made it hers. Who's going to beat her? When anytime they book something, we're like, well, that's a loss. Because nobody seems visually in the same league, never mind overall.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, outside of maybe Statlanders, we've got Timothy Thatcher coming out right now, and Danielson's got all the K2 tape. We're on a string of just comments that I love there. Right. NCW shouting out TNA with the Bucks were better as Generation Me.
Yeah.
And then, because when you were saying Jade was green, I was like, well, yeah, she's Jade Green. But
right.
Jade named after Jewel, Red Velvet named after Cake. Who you think going to win? Jewels are nice, but damn, Cake sure does taste. Right.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
Right.
And listen, I spent a lot less money on cakes and had a lot more smiles over them. So, right, 50. How often does MJF shave his Rogan beard? Sign in the crowd. Oh, okay.
That's one thing I will give AEW credit for is the signs in the crowd are normally pretty fucking entertaining. But we are underway, folks, with Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher. So give us your prediction in the chat. I know this was a match that I personally was excited for. A lot of people were excited for.
Yeah, I was curious how this match was going to play out for this AEW fan base. Because we know they love, the hardcore AEW fans love the chaos. This won't be as chaotic. This is going to be a lot of what we're seeing already. Technical wrestling, 2 technicians. I want to see if they can hold the crowd.
Exactly. If you're a fan of the British style, more European style, technical style of wrestling, I was trying to think of a better term, but I couldn't think of it. You're not going to get your high spots in this match or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is very much your ground and pound, your smash them, your Stu Hart, stretch them match.
Son of a bitch. Sorry. Huge European uppercut, and you almost felt it. Like, this is, man, for anybody responsible for booking wrestling, like, if you can make shit look that, if you can feel it, if you can hear it, look, like,
but that's
the crowd is into it.
Pete Dunne was, and then they made him Butch. That's what Gunther Walter was, and then they've still kind of made him Gunther. I feel like a guy like Timothy Thatcher in that whole era is missing, especially from WWE, of that just technical grapple him, that the finger snapping, the joint manipulation, all of that. Literally just, you can feel it, like it somehow hits your teeth of like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah, no, that's the best. I mean, it was funny. It was like you think back like NXT and kind of in the same vein as like a Thatcher, even Bryan to an extent, but you get like Lorcan in the ring, or Orkin.
Only Lorcan, there we go.
Only. But
no,
yeah,
no OF, no, none of that. No, right? Only.
You get him in there just banging, and again, everything looks so vicious. And I still say one of the best matches that I've seen in a long time, and it stands up, was last year at WrestleMania during Josh Burnett's Bloodsport. I mean, we got a hell of a match with Moxley.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and now we're going to get a hell of a match involving Ibushi. But you even think of, like, we just watched NXT last night. If you had a guy like Timothy Thatcher on there, and he was doing just a serious version of Gulak's gimmick of the whole, stretch them, and I'm going to teach you, and this is how you are a technical wrestler and everything like that. Christ, you put Timothy Thatcher and Drew Gulak in a tag team, and it's not a bad shout, or make a little faction, everything.
Yeah, with the whole gimmick of we slow it down. We're like, we'll go in wrestling matches with whoever, you give us the young high flyers, and we're gonna ground every one of them, and we're gonna stomp the shit out of them. Period.
Yeah, the no-fly zone, and especially with a technical guy like with Regal backstage again over in WWE. Imagine if they had guys like Thatcher and all of that when Regal was in AEW. Or Charlie Dempsey, Regal's kid. Shit, you put him and Thatcher together, or they have a match, it'd be a hell of a banger.
Yeah, right.
Kimura lock by Thatcher on to Danielson as Danielson gets the foot on the rope, and that was a hell of a shot, though. Thatcher's just crazy eyes still holding the lock.
Yeah, not bad. Scott, I like that.
Yes, absolutely.
And I would say, like, I mean, I would argue we didn't get a whole lot of like real solid Thatcher in NXT. We got bits and pieces of it. I don't know how long it was actually like real solid.
Oh, absolutely. You even said earlier tonight you were waiting for Ciampa to sit there and pull up a chair and at ringside.
Yeah, right.
That's really what most people remember Thatcher for in NXT, is being just Ciampa's buddy. You don't remember the fight pit match with Matt Riddle and all that.
Absolutely. Oh, Thatcher in complete control, folks. And if you haven't made a prediction yet, let us know who's going to win. By the way, I see my buddy Jake in the chat. Welcome, Jake. How you doing? Remember, folks, go check out Jake over at our Discord. He be hanging out there all the time looking for people to talk some wrestling, and we're there too. So join us there. Join us on socials. What?
I was just about to say that's where if you want to talk all things wrestling when we're not live, the rare times and everything like that. That's absolutely the easiest way to reach out. And y'all can still keep the chat going and everything like you do every stream and everything like that, even when we're not live.
It's a true story, folks. Boom, boom.
And I was going to say I will take this moment as well to mention. Yes, that's right, folks, as well. We do have our own merch store and everything like that up and running, so you can go ahead and get yourself the finest pro wrestling threads and everything like that. We've got different colorways, different designs, and we're still just getting started with this. I know we were talking on NXT about maybe trying to do barware and all that, and we got all the crazy ideas going on, folks. So absolutely, not only check out the Discord, check out the merch store. Like I've been saying, big things popping, little things stopping. Up to something season never sleeps.
It's a true story, folks. Don't miss out. And right now, speaking of not missing out, I got Thatcher dropping Daniel Bryan and back in control. Freebird, welcome.
That's the one thing you never yell out to a band performing at a bar. Play Freebird. Danielson for the win. I say that having buddies in band, but I never knew a fight pit match could main event a pay-per-view. It could. Well, shit. I was about to quote the
right
Heisman match, but I'm like, well, no, that didn't main event. That was King of the Ring '98. But yeah. No, moving on.
No, I mean, again, anything can. I mean, if you do it properly, you're good to go. So, Madison, thank you for being here as well. But yeah, you have every opportunity if the wrestling's quality, they'll hang around. The crowd right now, to me, still got a good amount of energy from what they're seeing. Trying to get behind Bryan. Thatcher's in control, so he's draining it. Draining that energy, what you want. So this is good. And I mean, if you give good quality wrestling, like Freebird says, they brought it to another level. I don't know if we're at the.
Oh, see, I was about to. You didn't click on. You clicked on that one. I was going to leave it on that one and say he was saying we brought it to another level. We're a very good show and everything.
We did.
You took our compliment and took it away. But no, I think it's just we're getting an evening of the scales. I feel in the pro wrestling world.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We've had some disappointments. I mean, we went to Rumble, all excited, all jazzed up, and we talked about it.
Oh.
Papa Paul's under a microscope, especially with Vince breathing down his neck.
No, he's not on a microscope. He just gets to blame everything on Vince. So, see, I didn't book that shit. I didn't want to do the deal with Mountain Dew. Vince did.
Vince did. But
I didn't want to feel the glow. Vince did.
We all tuned in for a really good, a Bray Wyatt match didn't happen. And we wanted to see a really good, a men's Rumble. It might not have been what it, was hyped up to be. But the last handful of weeks now, we said it a couple weeks ago, 3-4 weeks in a row, Dynamite's been really solid. Now, this is another week where, I've been highly entertained. I got my critiques and my criticisms, but we just get to sit here live and be picky.
Yeah, but this is a bit of the armchair quarterback of this is how you could have done it. A bit of nothing's been bad. Or anything, I would say it's been more of just this could have been better.
Yeah, really. The worst thing on the show was Jericho. That's usually the case.
It's usually the case. Well, it's between Jericho and his waiter's vest and Omega just oiled up with sweatpants for no reason.
Yeah, it's I'll be skins. Don, come rub me.
Kenny, no one was asking for that. No one. We're on the same team. You don't need to take your shirt off.
No, let me do it. Don, oil me quick.
Are you sure it's just so hot in here? Kenny, it's the middle of fucking winter. It's the first day of February. What the fuck are you doing?
We're in Ohio.
We're in Ohio in February. What are you talking about?
Might as well be in Canada.
Missile drop kick from Danielson off the top rope on a Thatcher. Lindsay, what up? Second time watching you guys. Go Moxley. Well, Moxley did pick up the sneaky win, and absolutely. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. We are here covering anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. The alternative commentary you can't get in real life. Your wrestling buddies you can't get in real life. What? I think I combined those two, but
I got you.
Right. But absolutely, we are here covering anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling.
What's up, Hassan? How you doing again tonight? Good to see you back, and happy February to everybody. You put January in the books, folks. So 1 down. We're 10 months to Christmas. 11.
Oh, why you had to say that? I just smashed my hand on my desk. I'm like, why the fuck you have to already mention Christmas at the end of fucking January, beginning of February?
Listen, we're like 8 weeks away from WrestleMania, so
that's the more important holiday.
Let's be happy about that one.
Now you made it. King Hunico Mundo is here. Who? Why?
Right? That's sad. That hurts my heart, but you got a point.
Who?
The King is here. Mundo.
Jerry the King Lawler? Why?
You can feel AEW got back in the groove after the Punk mess is putting out nothing but fire shows. You know what? It took a while. Like, we had the Punk mess, we had Triple H take over WWE, which seemed to reinvigorate the fans and the roster, plus all the new signings. And it looked like Tony was lost for a while. And again, if you're doing everything, and like to your point, King, if there's fires everywhere, you're not really giving all you can to the booking, or really giving all the thought that you can to your talent roster. So now that the fires has settled down and there's a little more of a kumbaya, yes, I feel like Tony's on the upswing, and definitely started 2023 with a good vibe, with a series of good Wednesdays. Oh. Rampage, hit and miss.
Rampage, you mean Ring of Honor? Oh! Ref bump after we had the yes elbows from Danielson. And then again, Timothy Thatcher's even just his facials the whole time he's sitting there, smiling like a fucking gremlin.
That old saying, if you keep making that face, it'll get stuck that way. His did.
Right, but he looks like, for anyone who's watched Jaws and everything of that, he reminds me of the fucking captain from fucking Jaws and everything.
Oh, shit. I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
Show me the way to go.
Man, I love that.
I'm tired. You know.
Who the fuck is that?
Takeshita! Taking away MJF, because MJF was coming out here to,
But see, that doesn't make sense to me.
We're setting up a tag team match, player.
Thatcher
with an armbar.
Yeah, going for the salt of the earth.
Thatcher looking like the lost Briscoe brother.
Am I wrong to think that I just think having Takeshita in this mess isn't good? Like, you just had your champion run off by a relative nobody. What?
Well, yeah, to me, it's more of it hurts MJF than it does anything with Takeshita. It hurts MJF a lot as Danielson gets his foot on the rope. But it's not good for MJF at all.
We're like, if Takeshita's beating the shit out of this guy, what's Daniel going to do to him?
Yeah, of this guy's having to go this far just to try and get him. He's so scared. But honestly, and I'm scared for this, does Danielson take the AEW title off of MJF? If this shows that MJF's that scared to go into a 60-minute, 1-hour Iron Man match with Danielson, that I'm going to do any dastardly thing. If I'm even going to get ran off by Takeshita and all of that, to try and keep you from even being in that match.
Well, I mean, again, I think it would have been good if the heel had come out and clipped Brian with the ring. And you're like, oh my God, no way. Oh, there it is.
Running knee from Danielson for the 1, 2, 3.
It's over.
If Takeshita would have, you see MJF trying to slide into the ring, and you have Takeshita that just catches him out of nowhere, and he just fucking starts pot shotting him, which granted doesn't even, the fact that it's even being Takeshita, I can see what you're saying of.
Yeah, it's a little extra, right? It's hot. Like, what you do is you
have it be somebody from BCC, for fuck's sake. Isn't Danielson still BCC? So have it be fucking Yuta, as now would cut to backstage.
You were still in the back, but MJF's got the upper hand.
Throwing chairs and throwing trash bins, and it looks like a fucking Al Snow versus Boss Man versus Hardcore Holly versus Crash Holly versus Midian versus Raven versus, whoever else fucking for the hardcore title going on backstage right now. But MJF and Takeshita going at it.
Not here, but not all there.
Too much too soon, I feel, for Takeshita being involved in MJF. You're swimming with fucking sharks now, kid.
Yeah, but it's twofold. Right now, MJF is in a feud with Bryan, but he's in the hallway getting pulled apart from Takeshita. That doesn't make any sense, right? That's like, here we go, MJF versus
Renee
Takeshita.
Paquette just announced next week on Dynamite, it'll be an eliminator match. Takeshita versus MJF.
In the middle of a brawl, Paquette walks out in a pink little dress looking amazing, going, I have an announcement. That's awesome. That is fucking awesome. Listen, I like all this. I just don't. I think it's Tony kind of getting in his own way. What you're building with Bryan and MJF is outstanding. But now I guess we're gonna get it tied back. But again, you shouldn't have your champion in a pull apart with an under guy. I just think it distracts from the storyline.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah. They did it when he first came back. They were like, "Oh, welcome back. Now can you go wrestle this guy?" When it was completely off topic.
When he was involved with Yuta for fuck all ever for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
But Takeshita is the top New Japan talent. He's like the Rock of Japan, guys. No, you want to know who's like the Rock of Japan? Okada.
No. He's from DDT. Like, I mean, it's not even from.
He's a blue chip prospect from Japan. Yeah. He is not the Rock. But we're getting Mogul Enterprises. We had a video package for them of, again, Swerve, Parker Boudreaux of If You Got Brock Lesnar from Wish.com, and buff-ass Tom McDonald for some reason. I don't know the guy's name, but he's just there with the dreadlocks and the fucking face tats.
Straight up question. Did anyone else out there forget that Swerve did that whole cinder block spot? Did we forget that was even a beef? I kind of like just put it out of my mind that
you a big motherfucker.
Yeah, I forgot the whole thing.
You remember Rick Ross more than you do.
I remember Rick Ross.
Swerve did.
Absolutely.
A single thing. Yeah, so it's just at times I think that's like you said it. You hit it on the nail on the head. I feel like a bit with Tony of it's good booking. It's just sometimes you do too much of it. If you book yourself, you put a gimmick on a gimmick, a hat on a hat. If you're adding too much to things that don't need it. Because you need to let some things breathe for a bit.
Right. Well, it's like when you watch a movie, right? Like when you're watching a movie or reading a book. I know maybe some of us haven't read a book very, very often lately.
But I was going to say, shout out to everyone watching us on YouTube right now instead of reading a book.
But I mean, if you read a book or you watch a movie or a show, there is that, you have that line, right? You have that plot that you're following. And you generally, there's, bad guy, good guy. And it's really like, the good guy doesn't go off and fights, the villain from another movie mid-movie just to prove he can fight, Oh,
absolutely. And so, and a side question here, because Damien's bringing up the Bunny versus Jamie Hayter next weekend on Dynamite for a title eliminator match do you like that they have the title eliminator match? Well, no, I already know that's a Boo Earns match, but and that's no disrespect to Jamie, it's just why. Mm-hmm. But that they have everything's a title eliminator. Why not just make it a fucking title match? I'm entertained. The thing is, today's youth has a short attention span. Fair enough. That's the thing, is like we're critiquing something that's good, honestly, right now. We've been happy with Dynamite. It's just
I'm thrilled. It sounds like we're not thrilled. And it was just like, listen, I didn't like the MJF Takeshita spot. I would have had MJF slide in, hit Bryan with the ring. It looks like, oh shit, Thatcher takes a minute to get over. By the time the ref comes to, Thatcher gets a 2 count. Bryan comes from under, takes the W. So MJF gets to be a dick and cause trouble, and everybody hates him. Bryan still overcomes and wins, so he looks great. We want to put a shine on Bryan, who just beat Thatcher, and we're talking about, oh my God, Takeshita. Look at him.
That's honestly, that's the best point that in this whole discussion is you're supposed to be putting the shine on Bryan, and instead you've taken that and taken every bit of momentum, anything, and put it on Takeshita right now. So is that the feud that we're building to, It's going to be a little bit of a weird comparison, but it's like taking how now we have all the heat with Sami Zayn, and now, but we still have Cody Rhodes in the picture of, so now we've got to try and put heat on Cody Rhodes. It's like, well, no, we should be focusing on Daniel Bryan, so why are we putting heat on Takeshita?
Yeah.
Sammy's the hot story we're going with, so why are you bringing in Cody?
Yeah. And I felt that same way when MJF and Yuta, and then people are like, oh, but KJ, MJF and Yuta was great. Yes. So if you had taken the MJF Yuta stuff and put it after he won the title, great. His first defense, a guy that he has some heat with, trying to, get in there with another young, talented guy, great. But when you do it before the title, it became this side thing where we're supposed to put a shine on the biggest heel in all of wrestling coming back and going right after that belt. I want that belt. Oh, but wait, I'm going to go.
What in the fuck? Is
Hey.
this like this has to be a tape segment? What the fuck is going on here? Because now we're backstage with what was supposed to be Los Ingobernables backstage. Is now we've got MJF showing up. They've got all the suits hanging and everything, but MJF showing up in an entirely different outfit, sunglasses, scarf, all of that, championship title around his waist, and a fucking briefcase full of money.
He legit said, Renee made the announcement. And he was like, fuck this shit. I'm out in quick time. In one commercial break, he fully changed and he's on his way out the door. Just brought a case of cash. Another person buying another. Listen.
Money, money, money.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Rush, Andrade, and Matt Hardy should be the richest guys in all of wrestling because everybody's given the money to get involved in something. MJF multiple times.
Well, then MJF's the one paying everybody, so he's got to be the richest man. He's the $1 million man. And so we've got MJF right now trying to pay off Rush's services versus Danielson, which this has literally just been like a greatest hits match list for Danielson. We've got Danielson versus Thatcher. We're going to get Danielson versus Rush. We got an actual good match between Danielson and Cage. So this is, in that way, it's done nothing but put Danielson over. It's just, they'll get there. It's like being at the fucking 10-yard line, and then you're Leon Lett. You think you've already crossed the end zone, and you fucking fumble the ball. It's like, no, come on.
Yeah, you know what? Hell of a match. And listen, I got no problem with Takeshita getting involved in some way, shape, or form. But if you're building, if this is the rungs of the ladder, the trials and tribulations, getting to the final boss in a level, you want to see at the end of that match, the spotlight be on Bryan. You don't want it in the back with those two guys arguing and fighting to announce a match next week. Bryan just picked up another win. He barely won. He was in tough. The camera should be focused on him, and the crowd should be going nuts, building up this baby face for this journey that he's on. Go get him. Go get him.
You should have to be working under this whole time.
Right?
He sneaks out this, and he comes from underneath on this, and he comes from underneath on that. Pause. But yeah, it should be, he's in there with Thatcher, and he's getting his shoulder yanked on and everything after he just had MJF Pillmanize it and all of that. And then, okay, now he manages to escape that. And then now he's going to deal with Rush and the fucking Lucha and all of that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, all right, so you can have that. That even what I'm mad at, if we're just going to take all of that and give it to fucking Takeshita.
All right, so here comes the TBS champion. Red Velvet already in the ring.
Yeah, Red Velvet came out. Now we've got Cora Jade come out looking like a goddamn $1 million. But the third member of Mogul Enterprises, Trench. I initially almost read that as Trench of just slam.
Yeah, I was gonna
say. Got that one. I'm reading Player of Games by Lane Bryant. Great sci-fi book. Yeah, I use Audible mostly, honestly. But Bruce Campbell's Wildcat. Why? Cora Jade for the win. Statlander returning. Oh, so does Statlander return tonight? Well, this is 50-0 for Jade.
I mean, here's the thing: is the tricky thing. We talked about the Moxley match being a pay-per-view match, but that match is still quite a ways away, right? Like, well, you still got another it would be 6 weeks
Right.
before we're even close to Revolution. So, I mean, Statlander comes back now, but we got to find ways to build this because it looks like Paige and Moxley are still potentially building towards Revolution, where maybe we do get an Iron Man match or 2 out of 3 falls, or whoever's head's still on with the end wins. I don't know.
Rock'em Sock'em Robot match. But Jade dumped on the outside.
Now, folks, get your predictions in. Jade, Red Velvets. Nick's going to take a sponsored pause for the cause. But we got Jade, Red Velvets, one-on-one here. Oh, not the best looking drop kick out between the ropes. Jade for the win. Yeah, let us know, folks. And remember, we stay to the end of the show. We will take everybody's rating out of 10. We want to know what the fans think about the wrestling. We like tracking it. We like to know how everybody vibed with the shows tonight. And I love seeing the big AEW scores from the AEW fans and the big WWE scores from the WWE fans and vice versa. So get them in. Stick around. Do not miss it. And, folks, tomorrow, I will say, as this match is kicking off or rolling through, tomorrow, we are here for Impact. We've taken a little bit of a break from Impact Wrestling. Tomorrow night, we are going to cover it. There's also a night at the Moxbury, a Wrestling Revolver show at the same time. We're going to probably try and keep an eye on that. And I will be joined by the wonderful Luna Havoc. She will be coming out and co-hosting with us tomorrow on Thursdays. We hope to see her on more Thursdays moving forward. Friday, doubleheader Friday, Rampage, SmackDown. I think there actually might be a triple header on Friday. And then Saturday, we got Vengeance Day. So like, subscribe, click that little bell. Join us for all the wrestling, folks. Wait, I missed the first Undertaker cameo, just face Sting. I think that's something that we missed out on. I don't think it was. I don't think it would ever happen. And again, I think it's both a moral standpoint. Neither guy, I think, would want to go under in that match, right? Unless it's some type of dead heat. I don't think we're gonna get it. Well, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Howdy. What's up, boss? How you doing? Welcome back. Impact Wrestling is doing good. Yeah, I mean, Impact gets overlooked because, people find it hard to find, doesn't have all the big names you would expect, but they do really well with the talent they got. And I mean, through the pandemic, through a lot of those WWE releases, Impact was able to scoop up a lot of really talented wrestlers, and they have a really, really solid roster. And I will say this, we haven't watched their weekly show here, but we'd never miss an Impact pay-per-view because 9 times out of 10, Impact brings absolute fire on their pay-per-views. My only beef is they put them on Fridays nowadays. I don't know why. I don't like it. What time is Vengeance Day on Saturday? 8 p.m. 8 p.m., Mark. Might be on a little bit early for a pre-show, but yeah, 8 p.m. Listen, a lot of people, they kind of snuck up on them, but I will say this to everybody listening right now. If you go look at the card for Vengeance Day, it's actually pretty good. It's a solid card. Everyone knows I quit NXT. Everyone knows I'm fed up with it. Until they figure their shit out, I can't invest in all the fucking childish nonsense on NXT. So I gave up. So for me to say that the pay-per-view looks decent, that's saying something. Oh, Jade walking up the stairs with Red Velvet, dropping her on the turnbuckle. Oh, rolled. What that was? I don't know what the fuck happened there. Creed brothers are killing it. Run. I agree. There's a lot of potential there, and Julius in particular, I think he stands out. But yeah, you give them time. I mean, I think they're really, really talented. Just green, but natural athletes, wrestling background, and they've been outstanding. Big fan of them. King, looking forward to the Ring of Honor one. Listen, don't get me wrong. I can't wait for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. But that's the thing here. We watch all of them, King, and I think you know that already. So we will be here for Ring of Honor. We will be here for Vengeance Day, and we're going to try not to miss very much. I mean, some of these shows are starting to put on the weeknights, which is a little troublesome for a live channel, but we've done it before. We'll do it again, where we try and cover everything we possibly can. Yes, she is, boss. And keep in mind, red velvet's pretty small. Woo! Code breaker. Jade is my woman. Does she know that, Larry? Axe kick. Not axe kick. Bro kick, technically. NXT first pay-per-view back on the road in Carolina. They should go all out to impress. I expect big things for NXT Vengeance Day. Smile Mark, great point. Hey! Kiera Hogan at ringside. Oh. Almost like a Trouble in Paradise. Oh, wow. They're actually giving Velvet the 1, 2, 3 spot. And Jade kicks out as the ref was distracted. Oh, Mundo happy. I'm shocked they gave Velvet that spot. No one else has even come close, I don't think. Start a movement because I'm not sure I can do it on my own. Yeah, 50. 50 is a solid number. I don't think she should lose at 51, though. That would be ridiculous. Lose it like 53. I don't know. Pick something arbitrary. Now, they are reminding us up next, we do have a main event, folks. We have Samoa Joe. We have Darby Allin. And it's going to be a banger. Velvet up, Velvet down. Oh, Jade hooks her. It's over. That's enough of that. Beast mode. Larry goes 4-0. What else we got? Impact moving their pay-per-views to Sunday starting in April. Jason, I did not know that, and I highly appreciate that. Going to Sunday's fine. We've had a lot. Sundays, as much as I clap and applaud that, Sundays have been a day of rest here on the channel because a lot of the wrestling's on Fridays and Saturdays, especially the pay-per-views. But if Impact moves to Sundays and we can cover it and not at the same time as 2 other shows, I'd be much happier. Hard to Kill, we watched at the same time as SmackDown and Rampage. Oh, Mama Jade grabbing some company and walking away with her belt. I don't think we're going to get anybody coming out tonight. Oh, it looks like her little one's upset. No, we're going back to Renee. Jade got the win. All right. Touches your heart. So, oh, Ruby.
I just heard about what happened. You good? I'm like, Ruby, those are your girls.
All right, so now Ruby's in the middle of this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Interesting. I think Ruby's better off with Saraya. Do you guys think that? Would you rather see Ruby Soho join Jamie and Britt or Saraya and Tony? What do you think? Moose, the Impact Heavyweight Champ, that had my interest the last few years. Ron, listen, was it 2021 when he stole the title from Josh Alexander, hit that spear right in front of his kid and his wife, and it was such a such a cold, heartless moment. It's one of the best wrestling moments of that entire year. Moose's champ was excellent. A lot of people have talked like a Moose against like Roosh versus Christopher Daniels on Rampage. But Moose is an outstanding athlete. And then the last year, he really, without the title, he went to kind of that hardcore mode. It's been outstanding. He is really, really good. And people have talked about, Moose versus Roman. Get him there. There's a lot of good talent that, Moose is a top guy. KJ, Team DMD. Now, see, this is an example where we were talking earlier with the MJF, Takeshka, mixing up your storylines, stepping on your own plot, right? Now we got Jamie Hayter versus Bunny next week. All right, that'll be interesting. I don't know if that's we'll see. But you look at what just happened. Jamie Hayter, your champion, is in the background of all these scenes, right? Like it's Britt versus Soraya that we're talking about. We're not talking about the champion versus. So you're kind of confusing your own booking. It's similar to what happened with Thunder Rosa, where you didn't really give her a whole lot to dig into, a whole lot for the fans to be excited about. You can't have Jamie Hayter keep getting overlooked, and the fans really like her. Ask Big Nick. The fans are really behind Jamie Hayter. So you got to put her on the spotlight. You got to let her shine. But this feud right now is about Britt and Soraya. It's not really supposed to be. And once you had that whole accidental baby face change where Britt started getting pops organically, fans like her, and people weren't feeling Soraya at all, you missed that opportunity of now we got to wait because everybody wanted Hayter and Britt to turn on each other. We wanted the Britt Hayter match. We needed, essentially, I think it would have been great for Hayter if she could have landed Britt versus Hayter and she goes over. Great for her career. Great for her, to validate her as a champion. But right now, I mean, she's in the background a little. Soraya, much better move. I agree with you, King. Came off as a natural heel, and it just worked. So just stay that way. And they didn't have much choice. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, she had a moment where she really had to figure it out because the crowd flipped, right? We've seen it before. The crowd turns on you. You either turn with them or you become, they don't want to see you anymore. But she's a caring champ. Yeah, great, Larry. Great. Does she care to give the belt back to Britt because Britt's the star? Maybe. That's my argument. I like Jamie. But Britt is the standout in all of this. So if Britt's going to take on, Soraya in this big, this big confrontation, then why wouldn't you have her with the belt? Because Jamie's just hanging out with her, cheering her on. It's interesting. Crowd's pretty hot tonight, Justin. I won't lie. And I mean, we talked about the Daniel Bryan match where we hope they kind of held tight. I feel like they did.
Yeah, a bit and everything. And to your point there of, Jamie Hayter's the champion and you're having her as the background player. That's an issue.
She's giving back rubs, holding her belt. Oh, are you okay?
I get that Britt's the star. 100%. She's been the backbone of that division, but
she was.
It's you need to develop other stars besides just Britt.
Well, that's it. And I mean, that's fine. So you push Britt to the background, and that's what we thought they were doing. And I think maybe just this is where, again, you're a little bit of an inexperienced booker, and you're like, oh shit, we can sign Paige, and Triple H is getting all this press for all his signings. Get Soraya in. But what you did with Soraya was you fucked up the rhythm of the story you were building of Jamie's now in the spotlight. Britt still wants it. Now they got to fight over that spotlight. If you could have got to a conclusion of that and then brought Soraya in, might have worked better.
Well, yeah, and then we've seen people saying Jamie Hayter turns on Britt, or it's the sidekick. All of these people wanting the Britt versus Hayter match. It's like, no, you had that chance.
You missed that window.
You already have heel versus face. Now you've missed that window. Now it's face team versus heel team of Soraya and Tony Storm. Of now you've got Britt and Jamie Hayter, and it's like, well, now the champion seems the most irrelevant person in this story.
She became cannon fodder. But she became a backdrop, right? Like she's just back there. And would you agree or not agree the fact that I mean, Hayter could have used that big win. Like if she went over on a Britt and she can't, like people keep saying Hayter's going to turn, but she's your babyface champion.
Right. She's the one giving matches to the Bunny and Emi Sakura and everything. As we've got Samoa Joseph right now in the ring. So we've got Ring of Honor TV title versus TNT Championship. I don't think it's match for or title for title, but so we've got champion versus champion. Well, Samoa Joe is the tribal chief of TV titles. I've already said that before.
The king of
That's
TV.
what it feels like. Yeah. He's the head of the television titles. But so we've got Darby versus Samoa Joe in a no-holds-barred match, which A is going to be fantastic. B, a lot of people have already surmised, and I don't know how you feel, that this is where we get Wardlow back.
Sounds about right. And I mean, you got to do something with Wardlow. You had pure over with Wardlow, and there can't be a single AEW fan on this stream right now, out of the 50 plus that are here, that do not feel like, man, they could have done so much more with Wardlow.
Yeah, could have.
Oh, that's rude. Thumbtack jacket.
Oh.
Now remember, folks, no holds barred. Darby Allin, Samoa Joe for the title. And folks, we do this all week long. So like, subscribe, join us, enjoy the main event, and we'll keep you posted on everything that's taking place. Joe's got a towel, but yeah, Darby running around with never mind.
I didn't even realize that it's an actual thumbtack hoodie and everything. Yeah. As Joe just rips it off and says, "Thank you, I'll have that." Yeah, Joe smartly using the towel to defend himself against the thumbtacks, I guess.
Joe's a beast, man. And listen, last week when he cut that promo, it's as a wrestling fan, and when people are like, "I don't get it," you're like, dude, listen to this guy talk and tell me it's not compelling. And I mean, that's why I just want him to keep winning. Like, just let him keep winning. Let him be the king of TV. Like, he's outstanding.
The tribal chief of the television titles. Absolutely. It's
right.
One of those he manages to be terrifying and compelling at the same time. That's why it was fitting with that whole chain of "Joe's gonna hurt you, Joe's," because you legitimately thought that man could do that. Like,
he came like a wrecking ball.
Tope Bottom
That's a tope. Fuck it, here I come.
Right. Came in like a wrecking
like just
ball. Right,
nobody
but Joe's already
like
busted open because he did it right into the table. So Joe ate the table right in his face here. But so Joe's already open, and I think it's the hard way is we've got the ring steps set up. Oh, man, landed on her feet. If he would have done the ricochet spot after that, I swear to God, I've just didn't look away. Of like, I got this.
Oh, that's so funny though. He lands it on his feet, but then like jogs it out and just collapses. Like,
just tries to walk it off, son. And then just nope.
Come on, everyone out there's done that. Try to run off a fucking wound. Just jog it out.
Tally. Yes. You want to get high? Blood. Yes, we got juice further. We opened the show with color, and we're ending the show with color, I guess.
Oh, there's a joke there, but I cannot.
Oh, I know. I read your mind and was just like, don't do it.
My eyebrows jumped. No.
Well, like I said, great minds, and I thought the same thing. I was like, don't do it.
Nope, I'm not even going to allude to it. I landed on 2 boots. Now they're going up the stairs. I'm never going to get
See, this would look so much better if you didn't do this in the opening match. Like we talked about it. They were both great matches, but if you didn't do this beforehand, this feels new. This feels holy shit. This is like, well, you started off the show like this, so shit.
And this is where I think more experience helps TK a little bit. And sorry, you kind of glitched there for a second. So
you're good.
If you were still going, my apologies. But with TK, like, I mean, if you look at your main event, okay, Darby's going to fight Joe. What are you going to do? And all right, we're going to be out. We're going to hit me to the table. Everything that we've seen, they map it out. So by the time you go to talk to Moxley and Paige and you try and figure out their shit, wow, blood everywhere.
Well, as
that was ugly.
Joe just dropped Darby Allin like a fucking sack of potatoes, cup of haters, sack of potatoes on the entrance steps, the ring step or the walkway steps.
The stairs?
Stairs. You
the walkway steps.
Like, I sat there and found the most convoluted way I could possibly try to
don't forget to use your salad fork.
Put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
They're back towards the ring, Nick, but
as we're in picture. But yeah, like you were saying, of if Moxley and Hangman hadn't already done this, then this I feel like would have been a bigger moment, a bigger holy shit.
Mm-hmm. It's still holy shit, but to your point, don't desensitize your audience, right? And I mean, whether we like it or not, and nowadays more than ever, I mean, seen it.
Well, and it's one of those of it's still great. It still has good moments and everything like that, but it's just that one of those if it hits a little bit harder, it hits a little bit different. If it's you can hit the snare drum every single time, but if you just manage to hit it at the right moment at the right time, it just hits different.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't need more cowbell.
Don't tell Will Ferrell that.
Yeah, no. I see some ratings popping up, folks. Give it 5 minutes. We'll get those ratings.
I was going to say, it ain't even done yet.
I'm holding out because it could go up or down a point depending on how this will unfold.
Well, I was going to say, right now we're in picture, but we've still got at least just under about 15 minutes left in the show and everything, as Joe's already busted open. Right now, both men in the ring, and Joe just in control over Darby. So does Joe win the title back and then we get Wardlow come out and we get just rematch again? Or do we get a triple threat and just Darby ends up being, the cannon fodder in between the two of them, or what?
I don't know, man. I really don't. I do think that Wardlow definitely has a receipt with Joe's name on it. And everyone's going to talk about his haircut tomorrow. As long as he doesn't look like John Cena, he should be all right. Yeah, I mean, that seems like the plausible conclusion to this is how does Joe lose without, kind of lose, he let the little guy beat him. Well, Wardlow came out and fucked him up. Okay, I can buy that. I'm in.
Absolutely. But I will take a moment. Shout out King, shout out Victor, Boss, Dale.
Oh, Cole.
And everybody that's still tuning around, that's still kicking around, that's still watching everything, still lighting up the chat. Absolutely. But we are back from picture in picture right now as big back elbow from Joe. And are you surprised that now with Regal back in WWE, like if Vince never showed back up as we've got a 2 count, that wasn't Joe maybe destined to go back to WWE, even in a backstage role?
I still think it might not be something that's off the table just because of Vince. I don't. I do think certain guys like Regal and Joe, and they all kind of understand the business, right? And I mean, it's not like, I don't imagine either one of them harbored a whole lot of ill feelings, right, towards Vince in particular. So, it could still be a thing. And he would fit right in. He's a great mind.
Oh, yes. 100%. Well, I like this comment of my old nemesis, Stairs. Right? Spoken from a true fat kid. My nemesis, Stairs.
Peter Griffin.
Oh, God. I literally replayed the clip in my head right there.
Yeah.
Just the Tom Segura flop there.
Right. Anytime someone mentions falling down the stairs, that pops. But initially, the big one is the Machu Eddie Murphy with the
right. I want
falling down the stairs again.
Darby with a roll up. Oh, Darby's slapping the taste out of Joe's mouth right now.
Yeah, that's bold.
Bobby saying Darby for the win. Victor saying Darby can beat Samoa Joe on his own. He didn't win the title. He also beat Miro. Well, that's another person who needs to be on TV. But
I don't know if we're ever going to see him again. Oh, I love a Uranagi. I love me a good Uranagi.
That sounds like a drink at a bar.
Yeah, 2 Uranagis. Let's go.
Bartender. Uranagis, round the house.
But Joe's got one of the meanest Uranagis out there. He just gives that baseball step. Oh, I love it.
Oh, well, I was going to say, better him or Solo?
Solo's filthy, too. It's just, they're almost, like, identical. Like
it's part of your Samoan DNA.
Yeah, it's just kind of in you.
Slam! Da, 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 da.
Let the balls be balls.
Yeah. Standing in my pre-boys dance. No, Joe, looking for. We've got another table coming out right now.
Good match, and that's again.
It's so interesting because this has been, out of all the special Dynamites and everything that they've done, this has probably been from top to bottom the best one that they've done. And it's not a Quake at the Lake. It's not a Great Balls of Fire. It's not a Mountain Dew Pitch Black. It's not a none of that shit.
No, and I think I'm curious. We'll see what happens this Sunday, Nick. This summer, because I think as the viewership dropped in the summer months, that Tony really was trying to hot shot like every week. I hope he stays away from it. Just give us really good Dynamites. They don't need cute names.
Yeah, just give us good week-to-week fucking television, because that's the one thing that WWE is truly lacking on, is the week-to-weeks at times, especially lately, have become a bit hit or miss.
Yeah.
If you give me good week-to-weeks and you don't need to make it, an NXT
takeover. Oh, that is fucking crude.
Go ahead.
Joe just chucked that man. Stop hitting me.
Yeet.
Just treating Darby like a kid brother.
But so, does Darby not remind you a bit of Jeff Hardy?
Oh, absolutely.
In the crash test dummy style wrestling.
He's like, yeah.
Will just take any sort of crazy spot. Mm-hmm. Always is working from under. Mm-hmm. And I say that obviously knowing Jeff's trials and tribulations, but Jeff, when he was in the ring, was fantastic, because even though he was a megastar, you still believe he's working from under. He's getting his ass kicked. Right. He's crash test dummy here. He's taking all the high spots, and that might have led to some of the situations. But Darby's right in there. Literally, this man looks like he's gotten folded.
Oh no! And I mean, the one concern is he's young. But if he doesn't find a way to do stuff outside of just throwing his body into things, you worry that how long can he do something like this? And we saw, Jeff Hardy broke himself down. It's a tough gig, man. I give the kid all the credit in the world, and nobody.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, see my point exactly. Nobody
back drop on the folded chairs of Adam Cole and Aleister Black, Malachi Black ain't got shit with their fucking match from NXT on that. If that man just took straight up a back body drop on two chairs like that, of just. That's the shit you feel in your fucking teeth of like,
As I was saying, we don't know how long Darby can maintain.
I just wanted to crack my back just to make sure it's still there and shit like that after that.
Yeah, shit. You don't need a chiropractor with Joe around.
Right.
And Joe just smiles as the blood is dripping from his eye. And to your point, Nick, it looked like
in his throw after the powder. Two count.
Oh, sorry, shit. Right?
The baking flour.
Where did the baking flour come from?
I don't know. Someone's making muffins. Why?
Get sliced bread. Dynamite is action-packed today. Justin, you're not wrong, buddy. How you doing, Heather? How you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hoodie coffin drop. Thumbtack hoodie coffin drop. That's got to be interesting as shit to try and put back on, of all the thumbtacks sticking into the fabric and all that shit.
Yeah, look, he's like, this sucks. That's a dumb idea. Next time,
I give up.
He's gonna have the Dax Harwood moment of fuck it, this chain won't stick.
That's literally what he did. I mean, he just said fuck it, but thumbtack drop or thumbtack coffin drop.
He slid on that man. He didn't land on him. He slid on him.
But he had his hoodie. He had it horse collared and everything. But for a 2 count. Oh, buttery sweet Shakota won the Rumble. Oh, we can get to that.
Oh, is Butters here? Butters!
Well, I just want to make a joke off this name of, well, you know me. You think you know me.
Marina Shafir's here.
You don't know who I am.
Yo, Darby cutting up the ring.
Well, good point here. This is brutality as it gets. This is, and I know it's nitpicky as shit, and you can call me the cornet, what have you. But if you didn't have this, you had before,
that's an actual good, like that's a solid point, dude.
That this 100% just it hits that extra note harder. And sometimes you just hit that and it hits that extra little high note, and that's what this would do if you didn't have what you had to start off the show. Is literally Darby's just going through and cutting the entire ring. So we're gonna get fucking folks. If you ever wondered, if you thought in your dumbest of minds that these men take bumps and everything on a fucking
Where is
trampoline or
Joe
paths or
while this is
whatever, you 100% are about to see
This is
what
too
they
much.
really take fucking bumps on.
Mhm.
And trust me, inmates in prison have better fucking mattresses than a fucking wrestling ring.
Now, wait. Now, here's the thing. You're saying wrestling tips with KJ. One, Darby Allin, if you want to put your hoodie back on mid-match, bring a zip-up hoodie. Wait.
Zip up.
Fucking zip that back on, buddy. Two, if the boy is going to be tearing the ring apart, give him scissors. Now, I think you just gave the fans the finger for
Darby with the tope mid-rope dive there into the table on the outside of Joe, hit the walk-off spot.
away.
That's the best Samoa Joe spot.
It's one of my
That's
favorite
literally, you
spots
can't
in
call
all
that
of
spot
wrestling.
anymore and not call it the Samoa Joe spot if that man just walks off.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that spot, especially when you have Darby flying. You know Darby's going to kill him, and he literally walks out on Darby, and you're like, oh shit.
Powerbomb on the thumbtack hoodie. He's gonna get the coquina clutch with a thumbtack hoodie. Oh, no, he's just got a he's fucking hooding him with it in like a camel clutch.
Clearly.
He's like, here, let me help you get this on.
Yeah, you were having some trouble. Let me do this for you.
Right.
The eyes. Oh.
Do I see thumbtacks in this man's eyebrows and shit? Yes, there's a thumbtack legitimately in Samoa Joe's eyebrow right now and shit on his nose and everything. For fuck's sake.
No, he fucking missed all right.
That's an understatement, Samoa Joseph. I'm blinded.
He ate all the shit.
Coffin drop. Oh, Samoa Joe's got to roll closer. We're going to hit the coffin drop here on the exposed part of the ring. Oh, bro. Oh, muscle buster on it. Oh my God. Muscle buster. Super muscle buster on the exposed part of the apron. On the exposed part of the ring. Let's fucking go.
It was
God
pretty cool. Clinton, it already happened.
Uno, dos, three. And your new TNT champion, Samoan Joseph.
So what do you do with Darby? I'm shocked.
Noah called. They've got a couple shows I think they need to book or anything.
Yeah, like, hey.
No, do you set him up for the teacher versus the mentor, or for the student versus the mentor, and you work your way towards him versus Sting?
It's about time. And if
Sting said that in my last match, I'm fine with it being against Darby.
Yeah, and you would imagine, right?
Right. So once again, because Darby the twos and we the woes, yeah.
Wardlow. DX?
Wardlow. So we're setting up for Joe versus Wardlow again. But so the tribal chief of television titles reigns supreme. Wardlow coming out whooping some ass.
Looking all spiffy with a new haircut.
All they did is just trim his fucking oh, I forgot he doesn't have the man bun now. I thought we just
It's gone. It's gone, so.
All he's missing is the chest shot, and he's fucking Batista.
Yeah.
I walk alone.
Joe rolls out.
So we end it with Wardlow returning.
And
looking
Wardlow's
like
favorite. Here we go.
All right. Out of how many security guards is Wardlow going to beat? He's already beaten up 20, so fucking 5 ain't shit to him.
Yeah, here he goes again.
And next week's already stacked as well. But so we end it with Samoa Joe winning the TNT title, the tribal chief of television titles, as Wardlow's powerbombing a security guard. They literally cut us. The man's about to yeet him out of the fucking ring.
5-0. Way to go.
In the power slap. Fuck me.
Oh, Wardlow's still beating the shit out of people. Joe won. Bravo. AEW killed it. AEW. The AEW fans are happy. Joe definitely got the W. Are you surprised he beat Darby clean? And then Wardlow comes out, so that's that. Darby gets wiped right out of the whole
It
scenario.
wasn't clean. It was a no holds barred match and everything like that. And I mean, the muscle
Straight up.
buster on the exposed ring and everything like that. Like, if you're going to end it on a spot, end it on that spot. It's a bit like what we talked about with the Hangman Moxley spot of when they hit the tombstone followed up by the buckshot lariat of end it there. Of you're not going to outdo that, so end it there. They somehow managed to keep outdoing themselves, and it was a hell of a match. And I think Joe's the guy that you could even build to of once he moves past the TV titles, you get an MJF versus Joe feud, maybe.
MJF Joe, maybe. I mean, it would be good. Mike to Mike, they'd be great against each other. Again, we might be able to work towards that. I think Darby versus Sting is a possibility. I did think that might be later in the year, but
well, we've still got however long till March for Revolution, so we've still got a hot minute here.
Very true. But folks, if you are here right now, I see some ratings rolling in. Get your ratings out of 10 in the chat. Let us know what you thought tonight, how the show was for you. And without even clicking on many of these yet, overwhelming praise. 10. Wow. 10.
I've seen 10s, 8s, 9s. Yeah.
9 freaking 9. Yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a show. A lot happened. Nitpicky stuff on my end as far as 9 out of 10 is great. 8.5 is great.
It's one of those of if you're looking at something and you're having to, I guess, try and find the flaws or just, one of those of how could this have been a bit better type thing.
Yeah.
Like how do you tweak it?
For me, I'll give them a 10 if you just tweak out a couple little stuff, right? That's the only thing that stops it from being a 10 is the fact that, you know what, give Moxley Page a really, really good match without all the tables and stuff because you're going to fucking load up at the end of the night. But the matches were great. Thatcher Danielson was really good. I didn't like the MJF angle at the end. I didn't like Takeshita getting involved. I think we need to focus on the two individuals that are fighting for that belt. So that's just picky stuff, right? So you're slightly down. I mean, for me, I agree with, I see a few people got it here, but Boss Monster, Jack as well, but I think it was an 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay, well, I was about to say I really like this. Of AEW brought it today 100% to me. I'll go surprisingly even give it a 9. I was 9 to 8.5 of it's on the low end of the 9 scale of. It was a fantastic show from top to finish of literally, I know we've been critical of AEW. I know we were critical here tonight and everything at times, it's probably more especially me, but it's more of, like you said, of there's minor tweaks that you could make and that are, to me, a little bit obvious that you could take that and instantly make it a fucking 10 out of 10 show of literally don't miss TV 100%. And it's seeing that potential. You just make the tweaks, but it was still top to bottom. I mean, you started off with Hangman versus Moxley. You end it with Darby versus Joe. You've got the Acclaimed on there as well. It was top to bottom a fantastic show. You had Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher. It was AEW done right. It shows you what AEW can be.
Yeah, just keep putting them out like this. Tony, listen, this was kind of like the early days of AEW where we overlooked some of the crazy shit where, like, I mean, I told you, when I started working, like doing Instagram and writing articles for wrestling, specifically because I was getting tired of Jim Cornette shitting all over AEW because I was just reinvigorated as a wrestling fan for AEW to come in and offer something different. And there were times where I overlooked stuff that was completely nonsensical, but it was just a fun fucking show and good things were happening and good matches were going on. So I didn't give a shit about all that technical nitpicky stuff. Now I'm here doing it. But overall, it just like, give us 8, 9s, 10s. We don't expect perfect. We don't expect huge comebacks every night and giant main events. Just keep doing this. This is a solid show. A lot of fans will tune in every week, and you will keep your numbers up and hopefully increasing by consistently just doing this. Don't give a fuck what Triple H is doing. Don't care what Vince is doing. Just keep putting your guys out there and doing it well. Just be careful that you're not like, the Dante Martins, the Takeshkas of the world, that you don't put them into the situations where you burn them out and make them irrelevant. That's my only concern with that kind of stuff. But that's nitpicky. Overall, great show. Could have been a 9, like you said. I'm happy with an 8. We got a lot of wrestling to cover.
Is it? Well, I was about to say, is it so far best show of the week?
Yeah. Raw was okay, but I mean, I think sometimes the WWE fans get a little like mono focused on like the big things, right? Like Cody was here. Yeah, but you were on for 3 hours. Like, come on. Like,
that was
Cody.
20 minutes versus 3 hours.
And I gave Raw a pretty good rating, I believe. So I don't think it was terrible. But I do think this was the best show of the week for sure. And actually, as far as a week-to-week show, this is one of the best episodes of any wrestling show of this calendar year.
Well, I was going to say, C-Money's saying best show in a month. Well, we're only a month, literally a month and a day into the year.
It's up against was it up against NXT for that title? And NXT is not winning any awards anytime soon.
Yeah, great from Denmark.
Yes.
Here, when was it? I'll just put this up and let you go.
I might or might not see you at Impact tomorrow night. Bobby, if you can see us, that's great. If you cannot watch us live, watch the replay. Comment down below. If you can't do it in the live chats, we're trying to get everybody to give us more comments. Lots of people showed up watching. Not a lot of comments. We got to find a way to get y'all talking. But yes, tomorrow night, we return. Wrestling for Life Network returns to Impact Wrestling. I will be going live. I will not be doing it alone. The wonderful fellow Canadian, the gem that is Luna Havoc, will be. There you go. The Canadian takeover.
Go ahead, sorry.
I mean, we haven't had a Canadian takeover in a long time. All the Canadians kind of left.
Been a minute. So yeah, no, we're really grateful that Luna's going to be joining us, and we hope to see her on more often. We had Big Cliff last night. We got more things coming, but Impact's going to be fun. Now, do one programming note. We're probably going to go live about 8:10, 8:15. We're just going to watch the free, commercial-free YouTube version of Impact. We figure we'll go on a little bit later, but we don't have to watch commercials, and we all know how much I hate fucking commercials, so that seems like a fair trade. Well, C Money's already pumped and everything. C's over here. Team Canada, we've got Eric Young. Now we need Christ, there was a female in Team Canada, right? I mean, I don't want to call the poor lady, Scott Demore or Bobby Roode or anything like that. But
yes, there was. I almost feel like it was Jackie. I feel like they got a vision of her in a Canadian.
I like this. So Jacksonville Jaguars out of the playoffs. More focus on AEW. Fair enough. Maybe that's what it is.
That's right.
But by the way, now that we're talking about the playoffs and everything like that, see segue on segue here. And it's not brought to you by Test or anything. But that we are doing a Super Bowl show. Absolutely. We will be having a Super Bowl party. So 100% be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe, all of that. We will be here for Eagles versus Chiefs, Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes. So absolutely, we not only covering anything and everything when it comes to wrestling. I've finally convinced this man to cover some football here.
It's true, man. And I mean, every year you kind of get together with your friends and family or whatever you people do. And we do it here in Canada too. We all like
it's the WrestleMania of football.
We all like us Canadians have to go track down all the American commercials because we don't get the same commercials. Like our broadcasting company jumps in and says, watch the Canadian commercials. Not nearly as funny. Yeah, we'll be here for a Super Bowl party. We thought, why not? We cover UFC. We've covered, we've talked sports. Big event, Super Bowl. Why not to get together with friends and family that you guys are? And February 12th, we will be here live for Super Bowl.
I was gonna say, let's be honest. Do we need a reason to come hang out? I feel like that's just a formality.
We're just making them up now, right?
Right.
And we will throw in opportunities to win. We'll play some games on Super Bowl Sunday.
Absolutely, just like we did for the Royal Rumble and everything.
Didn't quite go off the way I thought, but we'll get back.
We'll see. Well,
first time.
Things not going off the way they think they are.
Could be.
And, the NFL is rigged. No. First off,
fucking money.
What the fuck? No.
What the fuck? No. Of all the hearts, you picked that
one. What about Bruce?
Yeah, fuck. Come on now. Can I have Natty or a sister?
Should we sit here and call the Puppy Bowl?
The Puppy Bowl. Puppies! Anyway.
That's Jerry the King Lawler's Puppy Bowl is entirely different. Entirely different. You can go and watch that at Hooters.
Whew. Dude, I'm like warm and like energized right now. I'm like, fuck.
Fucking hold on. I'm glad you followed it up with something because the second you said I'm like warm, I was like, pause.
What?
Awkward.
No, that was a great night. And I know, like I said, and it sounds weird, but like when you're all kind of worked up at the end of the show, it was a good show. So I mean, a lot of 8s, a lot of 9s, some 10s. I think 10's a little aggressive. I can go with you. I stop at the 10 mark. But I mean, this is great. Tomorrow we'll come back with Impact. Friday, we got doubleheader. We might have a triple header in there. Tomorrow, we might try and catch some Revolver while doing Impact. Guys, there's only so much we can do. But Saturday,
I'm just a human being.
Right. But Saturday, we will be back for
That's
Vengeance Day.
Maybe we'll try and sneak that in. And I know. But,
what's that?
Best halftime show, halftime Heat, Rock versus Mankind, empty arena match. I wonder if we can find a video of that on the YouTube. We'll have that and we'll react to that during the halftime show.
The half show?
The half bowl, yes.
The half bowl?
You
need a half bowl, motherfucker. That's not something people say a lot, but we will be here live for Rampage, folks.
Banger after banger after banger.
Right. Damian, we're probably getting Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40. If Roman still has the belt at WrestleMania 40 and hasn't stopped, there might be an issue.
I've seen the theory that Jey Uso is really the main the main star here out of this whole feud between Roman and Sami. That there's just really more of a vehicle for Jey.
You think so, eh?
I've seen that floated around there.
It could be. So I mean, and you could be right in the sense of, I mean, right now, if Cody somehow interjects in this story, Cody's going to hurt his career as a babyface in the WWE if he gets anywhere near Sami right now. So the rumor is Roman versus Sami at Elimination Chamber. Does that play into like Jey then gets involved? Again, it's a lot of intrigue, but at some point we got to explain who Cody's going to fight or how he's going to get into Roman's face. How are we going to transition to Cody being involved in the situation without people resenting him for not being Sami Zayn?
Do they get to where he fights for a title and it's not even involving Roman?
Like a tag title?
No, as in to where they either strip or they create a new title, because we've heard a lot of talk about the Winged Eagle belt coming back.
I like the idea. Bring it back. Let's go.
And just give Roman Big Goldie? Fine, fuck it. If you're going to do that, fuck it. If you're going to bring back the Winged Eagle, then you've got to give Roman Big Goldie. Fair is fair.
Right. What's a good beer in Canada? They're all good beers in Canada.
Tap water. Tap water.
Tap water. Yeah. And man, I could go on forever, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of beer.
Like I said, it's the fucking tap water up there. It's just you turn the fucking nozzle on the faucet one way and it's beer, and you turn it on the other way and it's maple syrup coming out.
Man, it was like a son of a bitch. Heineken. Well, that's.
And I have a Canadian friend, so I can say that.
I mean, I'm a good fan. I'm a big fan of, I don't want to give out like free props, but straight up, I mean, I am Canadian for a reason, and Canadian has done well as
Labatt Molson, fuck off.
Molson, Labatt, yeah, but we got
actually. That's honestly,
we got a giant craft
right
beer
we've
market.
Talking about this, and we've got here for you, Labatt or Molson. Out of those two,
I lean more Molson for me.
My guy.
I do. I just lean that way a little. I can't help it.
No. As one of those of, like we've talked about it before, of when you just kindred, my guy.
There you go. Well, I'll be straight up with everybody if you guys really want to know. It's the Canadian whiskey that forget the beer.
LTD?
Oh, any of them, dude. It's just such a long, beautiful heritage, and it's so good. We'll have to start like sampling. We'll
oh Christ! Now we're just spinning off and
we're just rambling
on the tail and everything.
What's up, Nick?
What up?
What about me, Courtney? What the hell?
I think my name might just be somehow easier. I don't know.
Yeah, no comment. I'm looking forward to JTG and Jacob Fatu. Listen, Damien, you're the most optimistic guy ever. I think that's going to be a great match. JTG showing up at House of Glory. That's on Friday. Why are these shows? I think they're hurting their business. Do you not think if you're a small promotion, finding those Saturdays where nobody else really up against you. Even if you went up against NXT, it's better than going up against SmackDown.
Well, it's going against the Tribal Chief. And I might be, spoiler alert, might be, I know I'll be here watching, I know we'll be here watching SmackDown and Rampage and everything like that. But I also might be keeping a sneaking eye on House of Glory as well. But so I wonder if do we get the potential of a Rick Rude type moment or anything like that? Almost to the extent of to where Jacob Fatu is supposed to show up on House of Glory, but Jacob Fatu shows up on WWE SmackDown.
Oh, that kind of bait and switch? Oh shit! I don't know, man. Like I haven't.
He's talked about the whole blood. Like he's responded to the whole bloodline thing.
I'm so skeptical of rumors right now. Like anything that's a rumor. Like I think Royal Rumble taught us all a lesson, right? Like,
well, and it gets a bit to like what you've talked about though. Of at times WWE, especially probably even more than AEW, uses the dirt sheets to kind of bend, the storylines in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. But with all of that being said, Nick and Courtney's happy she finally got to see you.
Well, no, hold on. We got BB. We've got Wild Turkey Honey mentioned. No love for JD. No love for Whistle Pig, or I guess shout out not sponsored.
I'm also
happy that Budweiser is not from Canada.
That's good.
I guess shout out our homie there, CJ from St. Louis. So
right,
that's the home of Anheuser-Busch.
Pardon? Pause. And who what?
Anheuser-Busch.
I know what it is. I was being a smart ass.
Well, fine. Fuck you.
And
I thought I fucked something up, saying something up for the first time. I was like, wait, let me enunciate.
Jacob Fatu is on too many vitamins for WWE. Not anymore. I thought they changed that policy.
No. Yeah, that's how they came up with a job.
The bloodline is slowly breaking up. Courtney, I would argue that they are slowly breaking up like a freight train. Not slow at all.
Well, no, I like Romans that now even gotten out of it's the subtle nuances and everything again of the we're at war now solo. We take no prisoners now.
Mm-hmm.
It's hearing
that's it. I love it.
It's the little bits, the little breadcrumbs that get you all the way through.
And dude, I love billing it as like, civil war. Like it's just a good way to go about it. And that internal, and now you're like, okay, well then who does Roman need to kind of add troops? And is he go get a couple mercenaries? How does this work? What do Sammy and KO going to get on the same page? They didn't leave the building holding each other at Rumble. You saw the pictures. They were good 30, 40. That was a long fucking ramp. They were quite a ways apart as they were coming out. So it wasn't like this automatic camaraderie moment between KO and Sammy. So that's still going to have to get worked out. I mean, it's a lot.
They team up together, and then Jey Uso ends up being the one that they're spying on to make sure that he's not like a sleeper agent and everything like Jey did with Sammy. And we, what comes around is all around, Ricky.
Could be. I mean, I also could see, realistically, I could see like a tag match getting booked and the dissension between Jey and Jimmy and Solo. And that all comes to a point, and maybe KO and Sammy steal those titles. I don't know. Like, if you're not going to have Sammy versus Roman at Mania because Cody's getting involved and or The Rock or this guy or Stone Cold. Wow. Maybe that's the play is KO and Sammy versus Usos for the titles at Mania. It'll be a banger.
Well, that's been speculated about. So has Jey versus Jimmy has been speculated about at Mania. But like I said, I still wonder. It's just this is the best storyline. Best storytelling at the end of the day of whoever's the main character, whichever way it goes. This has been the best storytelling in professional wrestling in a long fucking time.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. And I mean, lots to talk about, lots of intrigue. And again, I mean, people joke, but grown-ass men and the stories is what pulls everybody in. And the stories are good. And you know what? Back to the point of all this, TK, Dynamite, they told a lot of pretty good stories tonight, and they did a pretty good job in that ring. And again, we'll overlook some flaws, some programming issues, I don't know what the fuck's going on with AEW microphones. Every second microphone doesn't work. But it's nice to see it all come together. Hell of a night of wrestling. I feel great about it. I can't wait for Impact tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, this was Dynamite's been getting better and better and better and better. And now it's very much it's gotten back to that level of where it was even when we started off with the channel and everything of it was winning week to week as far as you know, the fan ratings of top rated show, best show of the week and everything like that. So I'm just glad to see that now, you know, we have a new challenger to the throne.
Yeah, and I mean that always keeps it interesting, keep it going, keep it moving. And I mean, it's ironic. Last year at this time, AEW was killing it. Every week we would show up and talk about the best show of the week, AEW, Dynamite, to your point. And then it changed in the second half of the year. So we'll see what Tony does this year. He's off to a great start. I would argue that AEW had a better January than WWE. So now we're back into February and we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, that's excellent. I will click on
yeah, well, you I think clicked on the wrong thing there, sir. But I'll do that for you right now and everything.
That's not it. Son of a bitch.
And I still haven't found.
Yeah, I'm not going to click on that anymore.
See, I can see again, full circle. I started off the show singing that song and I get to end the show singing that song.
2 hours later, you still haven't found it.
Exactly. Still haven't found it. Fuck.
All right. But with all that being said, before I accidentally log myself off again,
see,
fucking hell, we are live every night, folks. We are the alternative commentary to all the wrestling. Kudos to Dynamite. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow, Impact. Show some love to Impact. Show some love to Luna. We want to keep doing Thursdays, so we need the numbers to support it. Doubleheader Friday, maybe 2.5 header on Friday with Big Nick. Saturday, Vengeance Day. Nobody grinds on our level, folks. If you need wrestling content, come here to get it. Nick, I'm out. I got nothing.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you better put that for life with it. If you smell what the wrestling for life is cooking.
Guy, that's no bounds. I love it. See you on the flip side, folks. Good night.